Hello. You have been Bearman Bless. I am Bearman Bob, your host for today. This is the one with the lovely hair is Alan Dusk,
Hello.
and the one that you just have to imagine the hair is DannyMikeCena.
Salutations.
So, now this is a new program on my channel, and who knows if it goes big, it'll have his own channel. It's called the Monthly Wrestling Wrap or Monthly Wrap or whatever. I'm gonna call it something. All right, we'll figure it out.
Patent pending.
A patent pending. Yes, thank you. So, what happens is at the end of the month, we will be talking about everything that has happened the previous month in wrestling. And what's funny is things change so fast right now that we're recording on the 27th, and by the 28th, something else that's huge has will possibly happened. Right.
Save it for next month then.
Yeah, we will have to save it for next month.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. So Alan is a Twitch streamer, and he's currently playing Elden Ring, which everybody is playing. Everybody with a good
Yeah.
computer. So how is it going?
How's it going? I'm having fun with it.
Yeah, of
Yeah.
I
course.
heard that Elden Ring is a bit iffy on PC. Like the PC port has like a few issues.
Yeah, there's a few slowdowns now and then when I think you're in like the open area. Other than that, it's pretty smooth. The boss fights, thankfully, I've seen at least in like the main areas, they seem like as smooth as it should be.
So,
Okay, that's good.
so more Breath of the Wild rather than Cyberpunk 2077.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, most definitely.
Anything better than Cyberpunk 2077
Hey,
like at the moment it released.
yeah, but Cyberpunk could end up like what's that name? What is the name of that game? No Man's Sky, where it actually saved itself after a few years.
I
So
did.
I think everybody says it's better now.
Yeah, I think it's a lot better now,
Yeah,
from what I heard.
uh,
Still a few issues.
true. And Danny Maxina is a streamer as well. You started just
Yeah.
a few months ago, didn't you, Danny?
I actually started streaming when the pandemic started.
Mm. Let me.
So like it's been what? I don't think it's been 2 years, but I think it's nearing 2 years already.
Yeah.
Currently on break though,
Mm.
because I'm busy with my studies, but once I'm done my finals, I can start streaming again. Just I need to focus my priorities on the actual important things.
Which
Oh
is
yeah.
which is fair. Now Alan and I actually tried to make video content recently, where we watch wrestling isn't wrestling, but the video itself fucked up. So yeah. Oh, by the way, we can curse. Yeah, we're gonna curse.
Uh
Yeah.
I'll try my best to just talk normally. I don't
What
want to force
cursing is
it.
normal?
No.
uh,
Like I don't like to curse. It's like
no.
a thing where it has to normally happen. You know
Uh,
what I mean?
no, fair enough. Now, my rule is this: if Jim Cornette can curse, I can curse. All right. Now, anyway,
As
uh,
long as you turn out as long as you don't turn out to be a a jerk like Jim is, then everything will be fine.
oh, I'm a jerk, but not that big a jerk. But we'll
Yeah.
see. Anyway, well, what we're doing is I'm somehow have whittled down February's top wrestling stories into 10, and there is a lot to unpack. And there's a lot more stuff that I had to push away and go, no, I can't talk about this, even though it's interesting as hell. But all right, let's get started. And now I just put this in random order, so it's not chronological or anything,
Okay.
but some of it might seem like it's one after the other. First thing, Brian Kendrick getting cancelled. Do you guys know this story?
Uh the only thing I saw was that Sabu was like, what? Sabu was like, what are you saying sorry for? And then he found out what happened. He's like, oh shit.
Sabu is actually the old uncle on social media was going, what's happening? Sorry, what? Sorry, what? Alan, do you know what happened with Brian Kendrick?
Um, I'm not sure. All I know is he stopped doing with he was stopped working for WWE. Then he went over to, I think it was going to go to AEW, but then was that canned at the last minute?
Oh yes. All right. So
Yeah.
let me rehash what happened. So he left on I believe February 1st. His contract expired, and then he announced that his contract was expired like in the morning of February 1st. In the evening, AEW announced that he would be opening AEW Dynamite, the second February edition, against John Moxley. So it would be John Moxley versus Brian Kendrick. An hour before AEW Dynamite came on, Tony Khan, was it Tony Khan? I believe it was Tony Khan, put out a Twitter saying that they found out what Brian Kendrick has said in the past and cancelled that. So can you imagine Brian Kendrick is probably in the building where AEW Dynamite was going live, and they cancelled the match and put that Dante Martin in instead. All right. So what Brian Kendrick has said, right? I'm going to switch on the Wikipedia. I'm going to rehash it for you guys. So this is fun. I read it this morning. I've read like the full articles and seen a couple of the interviews. It's terrifying. Brian Kendrick is a conspiracy theorist. People say he is, and he says that he was joking around and just trying to put on a character. But he has said things like, in 2011, he told this conspiracy website Truth is Scary that he believed that the September 11 attacks were fake with holograms. And that the killing of Osama bin Laden never happened. In 2013, he was featured in a video interview titled Brian Kendrick Presents the Kendrick Theory, in which he stated his belief that the number of Jewish people murdered during the Holocaust was exaggerated, and that the gas chambers utilized during the Holocaust was used for delousing and not murder.
That's quite a lot to unpack.
Yep. He claimed. Wait. Hold on. Not yet. That's not done. We're not done. He claimed a lot more. He claimed that in 2012, Sandy Hook Elementary School shooting was fake. Yes. All right. And a couple more that are not here. He claimed that there is a moon base handled by a secret government or something ridiculous like that. And he believes in, apparently he believes in lizard people and all these kind of things. It's actually things you say when you've taken drugs and you're high. But he apparently was not taking drugs and was not high, and he's been on a couple of right-wing videos talking about these kind of things. So yeah. Now, Alan, thoughts? Your face is just wow.
Oh no.
I mean, I don't know too much about all the different things I did talk about, but it's. I mean, honestly, I don't really know what to say, but joking. That's not even joking. It's just that his perception of what happened in these specific events over there, while he cannot prove that it didn't happen or it did happen, like that type of stuff, but still, it's like, I mean,
September 11 was holograms. Wow.
Oh yeah,
that's horrible, but it also made me laugh.
actually that's quite funny of a sentence to say. It also, oh god, the ignorance.
I mean, I feel. Hold on, before I was saying my point, Danny, thoughts on him saying these things and getting cancelled?
I mean, when you believe in all this, when you believe in all these things, and then you expect to get away with it, like, come on. I feel like but another thing is that why wasn't this disclosed to
WWE?
Yeah, before did nobody bring this up when he was joining the CWC 205 tournament thing?
Yes, exactly.
Back then.
Do you know something? One of the things he one of the things he said was during a Kevin Steen podcast before Kevin Steen became Kevin Owens. So yeah, they obviously from what I've seen, the perception is they thought he was just being a troll and joking around, and then after a while it got a bit uncomfortable. But yeah, it wasn't disclosed. That's a good point. But how did Tony not know about this? Tony Khan not know about this? That was what I'm surprised about. And then he only found out like a couple hours before, and just yeah, that's really surprising. But yeah, sorry, Danny, go ahead.
I feel like for one thing, it's like okay, it's good to like expose that he's believing this kind of nonsense, and to say he's putting on a character. I'm trying to remember back. What kind of character was he putting on TV that was related to conspiracy theories? He's trying to like save face and say, oh, it was just all a gimmick. It was all just to it was just all kayfabe. I don't really believe all this stuff, but you can kind of tell he's just trying to save face right there.
That's number one.
He-
And
yeah,
number two, your point being what character is correct because the last big thing he did next to matches, I think it was in CWC when he fought. Was it Kenta Ibushi or Pac? Well, Neville then, and there was no. They had. Let's face it, 205 and the championship, the cruiserweight championship was not so much about characters rather than the moves, right? That's where
yeah.
WWE fans watch for like the big high flying moves. By the way, Alan, when you switch on your camera, my Discord goes everywhere and your video goes here and there, and the names just mix up. Alan.
I I don't.
So Alan's
Oh,
yeah.
he's back.
Now
Oh,
he's
Oh,
back. Now I have to move the names around again.
no.
It's
So-
fine.
sorry about that. My headphones
No,
died.
no worries, no worries. But okay. So yeah, Danny and I were talking about how WWE and Tony Khan did not know about this.
I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
Also,
it's they thought it
also
was a
another
joke
thing I
instead.
should probably wonder as well is like how persistent and um I guess the only one I can say is persistent. How persistent are people to try and cancel somebody to the point that they are willing to ruin people's careers? I mean, for one, it's kind of weird and it's kind of crazy that Kendrick believes in all this stuff, but at the same time, you have to also wonder how crazy the and dangerous the wrestling community can be to go such lengths to reveal these kinds of things.
I mean,
It can be a good thing, but it can also be a bad thing, especially when it's like the wrestler comes out like, oh, I don't believe any of this stuff anymore, like my point of view has changed, I've actively said so, but then people are just
yeah.
they're just really persistent in making sure that this is the real him, he was like this in the past, he's a bad man, don't like him, I mean.
I mean, fair. Here's the thing though. I think it's such a big deal for AEW because AEW is considered the woke promotion of all the other promotions, be it the WWE or Impact. It's the woke one because of things like having Nyla Rose in the roster and being
Yeah.
I think she was a former women's champion
Yeah,
for
she was
for
one of the
AEW.
first AEW women's
Yep.
champion. The
Uh,
first for one being what's her name? I like it was like one of the
Riho. Was it Riho?
Riho. There you go.
Yeah,
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 it was
Riho.
Rio.
So
yeah.
it's considered the woke one. So that's why
It's
that's
kind of funny you say AEW is the woke company compared to WWE, and
yep,
then you have Brian Kendrick, who's
exactly.
quotation marks woke, believing in all
He,
this.
he's not woke. He's just had 50 million caffeines and has not slept since. And that's that,
Too woke for the company.
he's too way too woke for the company. Woke in a ways
I
that
feel like you watch too many Netflix documentaries
oh
and
my
decided that I
god.
believe it.
No.
But there's a part of me that feels bad for him because
Mm.
I mean,
he
wasn't there a general consensus like in like WWE backstage that he kind of acted like he didn't act respectfully towards other wrestlers? He made an excuse saying that that was just him putting on a gimmick, he was just staying in character, but at the same time, I feel like there's quite a bit of quite a bit of stories behind Kendrick saying that he wasn't really a good person. He didn't respect people that well. He acted very, um, he acted in a way that, it rubbed people the wrong way.
yep. I mean I've heard of those as well. I do feel bad for him mainly because as the character because Kendrick can go. Kendrick can go.
Yeah, but
If
let's also
when
remember that Kendrick is also the same man that trained Eva Marie. So I think we should also condemn him for that.
which is good. No, but I was looking forward to that because I feel like Kendrick is one of those people who, if they had, if it was structured differently in the 2000s and to 2010s, he would have just ruled the world, right? And of course, we get it's quite different now. Some people say WWE is the same, but Kendrick was one of those people who could have shined, like Cesaro, who we will talk about later,
Mm,
because that's a story. That's literally a
mm.
story that just woke up. Oh, but yes, so that is Brian Kendrick getting cancelled. All right, next one. This
The
is
only
a
thing
If
one.
he if
wait, wait,
like
wait,
Kendrick
pause,
actually put up
pause.
a crazy man gimmick, like he's like, oh, I believe in this conspiracy theory that WWE actually hid all these things or whatnot,
Oh yeah,
then I'd be like, yeah, okay, I'd be
That is a
convinced
good
that
gimmick.
that's actually a gimmick.
that
But
he's working.
yeah, but
Yeah.
like all of a sudden he believes it, and he said, oh, it's just a gimmick, It's like, what gimmick were there any gimmicks in the past that you put that was related to conspiracy theorists? I feel like the only conspiracy theory gimmick that is ongoing in wrestling right now is
It's
Sami
Sami
Zayn.
Zayn.
Yeah, Sami
And
Zayn.
Sami Zayn,
He's actually a nice person in real life.
yes,
Mm.
One of the nicest people ever.
yes.
He and Titus. Anyway, Alan, you were gonna say something before Danny. Yeah.
just just speaking of Eva Marie, I just remember that time where they released all those people, and it's like, oh, but we're bringing back Eva Marie. It's
I'm
like,
like, what? What?
And then they proceed to release her few months later
it's like,
for
what?
I don't-
It's like maybe bringing in back who was that dancer for Fandango?
Oh, Summer
what
Rae.
Summer Rae.
Summer Rae, yep. And calling her a
That was
legend. A
yes,
legend.
WWE legend.
Which is great because that's our next topic. I wrote down here. Shane O'Mac exits WWE.
Oh yeah.
Do you guys know this story?
What? Sorry, what?
Shane McMahon, who
Oh,
exits WWE.
wait.
Do you know this
If I'm not
story?
mistaken, if I'm not mistaken, if I remember correctly, the story was that Shane was in charge of the Royal Rumble, like
Yes.
story and the whole thing at the
Yes.
pay-per-view, and
Yep.
there were like things that he changed or whatnot, and apparently, people did not like the changes. Apparently, there was also like a thing where Veer Mahan was supposed to debut at the Rumble. Imagine if he was number 30 and actually won the Rumble, though.
But by the way, guys,
Oh,
I think that Veer is never going to appear. Instead, he's going to appear at AEW because his name is there. VEER. Very Elite Entertainment Reject.
Mm. No, 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 no. Veer is already in on Raw. He's on TV. You just can't see him.
What, is he Cena now? Is it the
I
Indian
mean,
Cena?
yeah.
But no, let's unpack
oh,
everything about the Royal Rumble. Did you guys watch the Royal Rumble? Either clips or
I
highlights,
actually
or watch the whole
did
thing?
I
not.
watched
I
some.
actually did not. All I know is that Lesnar won the Rumble, and everybody's mad that Lesnar won.
What about you, Alan?
I've seen clips. One clip I saw was fucking Johnny Knoxville entering the Rumble
All right.
Yeah,
and
yeah. Apparently,
punching AJ Styles.
Johnny
Let
Knoxville and Sami Zayn are feuding at WrestleMania right now.
Yeah, they are.
let me unpack the Rumble highlights. I remember. I haven't written this down, but these are highlights I remember. The Women's Rumble was good, not fantastic. Nothing is as good as the first Women's Rumble where what's the name?
Oscar.
Asuka.
Asuka won. That was a great
Yeah.
Rumble because two Japanese wrestlers won out of nowhere. And you go, what?
Yeah, but you also have to remember later on after Oscar won,
Yeah,
Ronda Rousey debuted, and
yeah,
then she's like pointing at the WrestleMania sign, like,
yeah.
well,
But
what a way to ruin someone else's moment. Like,
hold on to that thought because that Rumble wasn't great. There were a couple cool things. For example, Mickey James coming in with the Impact Championship
yeah.
and her
I
Impact.
mean,
That was cool. That was
this is
really cool.
these are times where WWE doesn't really care about TNA or Impact anymore. They think of Impact as like a lesser company,
That's
and now AEW has taken Impact's place as the competitor to
Uh,
WWE.
that
And so, and also there's also the fact that, I mean, previously there were like certain segments in WWE where they were referencing Impact and TNA, like for example when Kurt Angle was the Raw general manager,
Oh yeah.
and Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens recently lost the during that time they lost their match to Shane O'Mac
mhm.
and Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania. So they were like, "Hey, Kurt, can we get a spot on the Raw roster?" And then Kurt's like, "I don't think I have a spot for you guys, but I heard TNA is hiring."
But hold on to that thought because I think they let Mickey in as a apology. Do you guys hear what happened when Mickey got released from WWE?
Why?
Yes.
What happened?
Oh, they
Oh
sent
yeah.
her stuff in a
In a
plastic
in a Oh
garbage bag,
yeah,
and
in a
I'm going,
garbage
"Are you
bag.
serious?" I mean, doesn't matter. Okay, doesn't matter where you are in the company when you're released. You should be treated with more respect than that. But
Yeah.
in a garbage bag, I mean, you can put boxes. It's fine. Boxes is fine. Garbage bags, really? And cheap garbage
Like
bags. And I'm going,
like
"Oh my god, why?" So I think
it doesn't help.
yeah,
It doesn't help that there in the past Mickey was feuding with Lay Cool,
I
right?
remember that. Sorry, yeah.
And yeah, and WWE was like, you know what, be great. Let's call Mickey James a fat pig.
Yep, I remember that.
That's amazing. That's
Yep,
great.
Piggy James.
I'm glad we're past those times now.
Are we though? Are we though?
Yeah.
I
Remember
mean,
Nazi U-boat face, aka Gunter Stark?
I
Do you,
mean,
do
no, I mean, when it
you,
comes to the women, when it comes
you
to the
you
women,
know, Danny, you say that, but I bet you tomorrow, oh no, Tuesday morning on Raw, something's gonna go shit with the with the women's division, and you go, oh, and we're gonna go, oh god, Danny, you
I
spoke too
mean,
soon.
I don't know, man. We'll see, we'll
Maybe.
see, we'll see. Because right now, all the focus is on
the
Becky, Bianca, Ronda, and Charlotte.
Yep. Anyway, continuing. So they continue having they continue the Women's Rumble. A couple cool things. What's her name from Right to Censor came in.
Oh, Ivory.
Ivory came in
Ivory,
and she
yeah.
just got a promo and she got bounced out and she was still doing a promo that was great. But of course, Ronda Rousey comes in, wins it because if Ronda Rousey comes into the Rumble, you know she's gonna win. She points to the WrestleMania sign and the WrestleMania sign catches fire.
Fire.
Look,
Oh my
that's what,
god! And
It's
man.
gonna
I'm,
be a
That
fiery WrestleMania.
Hey, look, man. Ronda caught so much heat that she set the place on fire.
if that is
There's so-
if that is not a sign of how WWE is right now, I don't know what is.
Just Photoshop Ronda's face on the dog and then
Yeah,
have it say, "This is fine."
yeah,
That's
this is fine.
It, it caught fire a second time afterwards, didn't it?
Yeah, when Lesnar won
When
later.
Lesnar won.
like
Oh my god!
WWE nowadays. They're so addicted and they're so obsessed with LEDs and all that stuff. And it's like, I mean, LEDs are cool or whatnot, but for one, it makes the entire like pay-per-view setup and everything not feel special unless it's WrestleMania.
Which is fair. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, of course, you gotta make WrestleMania feel special, but then I just miss when pay-per-views actually had different sets to them. I would rather have different sets of pay-per-views than LEDs all over the place, especially when you know there's gonna be a fire hazard like at the Royal Rumble, because if that's gonna happen in the future, then I feel like that's just initiative for WWE to not overspend on the LEDs. But nah, I mean they just gotta keep using the LEDs because they're lazy. They can't think of anything to
uh,
make the whole pay per view unless it's WrestleMania to feel like special and all that.
Yep. And then who was it? It was Becky and Doudrop having a match. And it was totally dead because the whole audience was worried about the fire. And they were having a decent match, to be fair. I don't know much about Doudrop. I don't watch WWE as much anymore because
Hmm.
well, I got better things
Doudrop,
I got better things to do like clean my house. All right? but yeah,
yeah,
I only watch like
Doudrop actually was a NXT UK wrestler. She wrestled under a different name in the NXT UK branding, and then they changed the name to Doudrop, which
yep.
is a
It's,
stupid name.
yeah, it is.
Why?
Nazi make U-boat face. Gunter
No,
Stark. Nothing,
yeah, yeah,
nothing.
and then they decided to drop the Stark name and just give Walter Gunter. Like, I mean, for one, if Walter ever leaves WWE, he can use the Walter name again. But it's
Yeah.
like, oh my gosh, dude, like seriously,
Like
what?
I've never seen the wrestling community or fans of WAW, everybody say almost everybody. There's one or two idiots who don't agree. That agree that that is the dumbest idea for a name. Like it was.
Yep.
I feel like a simple Google search to be like Gunter Stark.
No, that's how
Is
they
it a
found
good
out.
name?
That's how they found out when whoever was working at the patent office saw it. That WWE was doing it. They would like to Google names just in case they get a hint of who it is. And that was literally the first thing, a commander of a U-boat.
Yeah, like, no.
I would not have been surprised if Walter was forced to wear a Nazi hat and like the jacket and
I,
everything
I
towards the
mean,
ring.
I mean that's essentially already Imperium. Okay, by the way, Alan, you were saying something?
No, I don't think I was.
I thought you were. All right. Anyway, so the whole okay, the whole Royal Rumble was actually pretty much booked by Shane. The women's one was booked by somebody else, but the men's one was booked by Shane. That's why it felt topsy turvy. Here's the funniest story I've heard of all. All right.
I think I know which one you're gonna talk about.
So Shane, here comes the money comes out. Money, 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 money. And then apparently Randy Orton was next to Shane
Oh,
in on Gorilla, and he fell down on the floor laughing because he was supposed to go out, but he accidentally played Shane's music, and he fell down the floor, and he goes, "Nope, nope, nope, I'm not gonna go out, Shane, you go out." And that's why Shane came out late, like 20 seconds late, because Gorilla to the entrance takes. I mean, it's a big stadium, but I found it hilarious. I just imagining Randy,
I
who's
cannot actually imagine Randy falling to the floor laughing. I
dude,
cannot.
he,
I
he's
I think I think that was
he,
a bit exaggerated. I think I can imagine him like going down to his knees and like slapping his leg laughing. I can
yeah.
imagine
Game
that.
over.
I can't imagine him falling down to the floor laughing. I feel like that'd be the most un-Randy Orton thing
to, be,
you would ever hear.
to be
I
honest,
wonder. I wonder about that.
yeah. No, to be honest, he's a veteran. He's probably seen everything, but he's probably looking at it, Royal Rumble, going, "This is a shit show that oh, the likes I've never seen." And that's
I mean,
what. And he was
then
already. He's probably just already angry, being one of the
yeah,
locker room leaders. He's already probably really
yeah.
angry in a. Oh God, what else can go wrong? And then when
I
they came out, he
mean,
just stopped. He just
when
went.
It's just
when
like,
when
well,
when the Royal Rumble starts off with Kofi Kingston not surviving an elimination and
Exactly.
one
getting a
that's so
botch
sad.
elimination,
Uh,
everything just goes crap from there. Like
uh,
I mean, there's already reports that morality and emotion in
yeah.
the locker room is at an all-time low, which I don't blame. Like it just. And being a longtime WWE fan, just watching the product and just feels so lifeless. It's like watching through. There are certain segments that feel like, oh, this is nice, but then for the most part, it's like,
You want to know something even funnier?
what?
Apparently, Brian Kendrick used to book the Rumble. That well, so he was he left, and Shane O'Mac went crazy and power hungry.
Oh no, no.
So yeah,
Wait,
WWE needed Brian Kendrick. What a week!
You know, I'm pretty sure the previous Rumbles, the one where Edge was in, I'm pretty sure he booked that, right?
Yeah, he did.
What then? What went wrong?
Brian
What
Kendrick
went
left.
wrong?
like, I think it was a co. Yeah, it sounds like it was a cooperative
Uh,
effort, and
Yeah,
then like
the
one person left.
conspiracy theorist and the only good McMahon in the McMahon family.
yes.
And now apparently there are some rumors, probably planted by WWE yes men, saying that, oh, that Shane is actually an asshole, or he's not nice and all that stuff. He was hard to work with, just like how they said about Wyatt and Keith
Punk.
Lee. which
Oh,
probably we will probably talk about later. But
oh
for
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
now,
See Keithley in the see Keithley on the
Y-
poster there.
Yeah,
yeah.
I've got it somewhere there. Now,
And also, but yeah, another thing is the fact that they literally quietly fired Shane McMahon, someone who is literally a part of the business because you got Vince, Stephanie. It just goes to show that Vince does not care if his family is running the WWE or not.
but
He just cares about making sure that WWE earns him money.
he's
I
not.
mean,
He's
honestly,
he,
honestly, that's pretty evident when you see what's happening with NXT 2.0. It's good, but
is
man, I gotta feel bad for Triple H, you know?
Yeah, I feel bad for. I
No.
never thought
Yes.
I live to see the day to see the day where I say I feel bad for Triple H. Punk might Punk
Yeah.
probably
At the
feels
same
bad about,
time, though,
but no.
at the same time, though, you
Uh,
can't say he doesn't deserve what's
yeah,
coming to him after all those
yeah.
years.
But pause. What I want to say is, Shane isn't fired from WWE, but he's put far away. His job apparently is
Hmm?
going around the world. With partnership brandings around the world. So he's a bit like if you watch The Godfather, Fredo. Fredo is not he's part of the Corleone family, but he's not allowed to be part of the business. He's allowed to be a man at the side, handling
Like a
Las Vegas as a manager.
subsidiary kind of thing.
Yep.
I've
So
never I've never watched Godfather, so I did not
Same.
understand the reference.
no, but
I sort of get I get the idea of it.
yeah, so that's yeah. By the way, watch The Godfather. One of the greatest movies ever made.
Yeah.
But yes. So Shane has has ag- is gone from the WWE, but not really. Just not in the same country. And during the pandemic, to
He's been
not
exiled from America.
yeah
Wow.
during a pandemic to not want them in the same country. That's saying something. All right, let's move on
What?
to
Wait, did he actually leave the US?
yeah. He was in Saudi Arabia like weeks before elimination chamber. He was in other countries in China, just doing business talks. With
Vince was like, ah, Shane, you're not doing a good job, brother. Now
yeah.
I'm gonna send you out to the
Why why
outside the US.
why does your Vince sound like Hogan?
Listen, you brother.
Vince,
That doesn't work for me, brother.
Vince,
That doesn't work for
Vincey
me,
Bogan
brother.
McMahon.
I need to look good.
My egg.
Yeah.
What?
Spunk on my egg.
Ah.
What the hell was that with Vince and the golden egg? That was the worst thing I saw. I'm sorry, I'm just gonna do a
Oh yeah.
tangent.
Just as
I just caught up
it,
on the golden egg. What the fuck was that?
it was just as dumb. It was just as dumb as when Shane was talking about, ooh, what's in the box when he was feuding with Vince and Undertaker, and
Oh
then
god, thanks Brandy.
and then nothing of positivity came
Nothing,
from the
nothing,
whole
nothing
mystery
significant.
box.
All right, let's move on to better pastures. MJF defeats CM Punk. Oh,
I have not watched. What is it? Is this the
oh.
dog collar
Haven't-
match?
No,
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 no.
no,
That's
no.
the next.
That
This is the
next,
previous one.
that's the previous one. Okay,
Okay, so it's not so it's
so
not the dog collar match.
so
Okay.
Danny, have you seen anything to do with MJF and CM Punk? Any of the promos and stuff?
I've seen the first promo that they had
Oh.
where CM Punk called MJF
A less
a
famous miss.
yeah, the last famous
And you go,
Miz.
ow!
I've seen that promo. That one was great, and
Mm.
I haven't seen any of the other segments that they had after that. But I've actually seen the recent one where MJF he did the promo about how when he was young he had
ADD, yep.
ADD and he was getting bullied because the people in his school didn't want him to be in football and all that stuff. But he's like, on that same day I was bullied, I knew it was still gonna be a good day because I was meeting my most favorite wrestler ever, CM Punk, the best in the world. He was like going on a tangent and all that, and then he said like, uh, was like I was gonna be a wrestler in spite of CM Punk and all that stuff.
Mhm.
And like it was kind of weird. It was like it was basically a heel character giving a face promo.
It's also called emotional abuse. That's what
Yeah,
emotional abusers do.
yeah.
Alan.
But wait, I'm not done yet. I'm not done yet. And also another thing is that this will either be a double turn between Punk
Hmm.
or Punk and MJF, or it might be just another thing that MJF is trying to use to make sure that he wins. But
Yep.
I don't know. We'll have to see.
Uh,
But at the same time, though, it's like another thing related to that promo is that a lot of people seem to not like the fact that like like wrestlers are using real life incidents or whatnot to make stories interesting, unless it is specifically stated that the wrestler doesn't want to use it. Like for like when Randy Orton literally said to Vince, "I don't want to say Eddie's down there." You know the line.
Eddie's dead.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
yeah, Eddie's down there in hell. Like that was just a tasteless tasteless promo. But yeah, unless it was specifically stated by like by someone in AEW that MJF was forced to talk about his ADD.
Mm.
Like I'm pretty sure MJF was more than fine to talk about his like his actual past and whatnot, like it's I mean, there is a fine line between kayfabe and actual reality, but at the same time, if the wrestlers themselves want to actually use real life story elements, like especially from their past, to make a story interesting, then why should we condemn them? They wanted to do it. If they didn't want to do it, then that's a different story. But if they wanted to do it, then let them do it. I don't know why these wrestling fans, quote unquote, are just so gatekeepy and getting offended for no reason. It's like when people get offended for someone, but that someone was not even offended and found it funny. It's like for example, someone makes an Asian joke and I find it funny, but then a friend of mine is like, "Wow, that's so offensive, man. You offended Danny." I'm like, I found that funny. Shut the fuck up.
Keep-
You know
Oh
what I
no,
mean?
it was cursing.
Pretty
Why
fine.
did you want to curse? All right, pause. Alan, what about you? Your thoughts?
Let's see. I saw the one that you sent me, which was like think their first interaction, right?
Yes.
I think I saw the second one, but I don't entirely remember what happened. But I remember it being quite good. And then I saw the most recent one where MGF got really real with like everything. I actually haven't watched the match yet, but in a way, I think it's
Same. I haven't
uh
watched it as well.
yeah, I
Oh,
definitely want to watch it.
the match is. Whew, the match. Think the best Piper match. That's what it's up there.
I've never watched a Roddy Piper
Yeah,
match.
same.
What's wrong with you people? All right, Alan, continue, please. Sorry.
Sorry.
Sorry,
Just
we're
going
not
to
we're not that old. Oh, we
Shush
haven't
no,
you.
but I
gone
do
that
like.
far back.
I would actually like to watch more classic ones. The most recent, just to go on a bit of a tangent, the
Yeah.
most recent match that I watched, I wouldn't recall a match; it's more of a slugfest. Was Walter versus
Yeah.
Electrical,
Oh, one or two.
the first one.
Oh, I saw the second one just a week ago. Oh,
I was gonna watch the second one, but I never did. But I just saw that one. It's like, ooh, that's not a match. That's just slugging each other. It was really good though. Okay.
those two matches. Anyway, continue.
Hmm,
Yes.
yeah. I think in a way it's. I mean, it could have went either way, and I guess in the sense of like because MJF is technically the future, and though Punk is still good. He knows that like at some point his time and the fire that he kind of brought with him into AEW is going to fade. So it's like, well, I may as well like do my job. I have fun. I please the crowd, and then I do the job when I need to do it. In this case,
Yeah,
would
I don't
be
think I don't think Punk is in AEW to win championships. He's just there to
no.
have a good time.
Yeah,
You
Yeah,
see,
yeah.
like
you can see that he's actually having the most fun he's ever had in his wrestling career, bro.
yeah,
Since because ROH Ring of Honor, he was having a great time. Obviously, being the face of the company with Samoa Joe. Then WWE, we know what happened there. But now he comes back. Not only do they value him, I have to say he must be booking. He must be one of the bookers because the booking. I'll tell you, after Danielson and Punk came in, the quality of the AEW has increased immensely. Now I say that not being somebody who only watched AEW after Punk came in, but then because now I have Fight TV, which is actually quite cheap, I actually went and watched like previous episodes, and yeah, the quality all has increased. Like everybody has stepped up their game. Um, Now, see, MJF and CM Punk, I was surprised. Okay, I actually lost my sense of being a smart, like a mark, and I actually just enjoyed the match because the match was fun. But then I was going, wait, he lost twice. He just lost twice at Chicago? Really? What? And it took me like the next day to go, oh, yeah, now I know why they're doing that. But it really got me into it. And I've not
Hmm.
gotten that much into a match since AJ Styles versus Cena, the third one in Royal Rumble. Was it
Oh, okay.
2016, 2015? That was a great match. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's a for me. I personally think I'm watching both AEW and when I have to WWE. I think this is the best story going on in professional wrestling right now.
Hmm.
Didn't they
Agree
do
with that.
something similar with MJF and Chris Jericho, where like Jericho kept losing all of his matches against MJF, and then the final match between Jericho and MJF, Jericho won instead of MJF.
Oh yeah, I
That
remember
is
that.
true.
Do you think they're trying to do something similar
N-
with Punk and MJF, where like Punk's gonna win the final match between the two, and
they
then they move on?
they could do, but the thing is, I
Hmm.
think that was very much professional pride, Jericho and MJF, where this feels super personal. The things Jericho and MJF say are great, but they're not up there. This is just a level that you have not felt since Stone Cold and The Rock were were just vying for top spot. You have not seen things this good in such a long time.
Hmm.
In my opinion. What about you, Alan? Are you saying?
Um, I think I was gonna go on another tangent again, but if you want to like keep it within this story over here, well, I mean, I was around during Rock and Austin era, but I feel like I didn't really. I guess I was still young, so I didn't really kind of understand it. I was just kind of
They
like,
did some crazy stuff back then,
oh yeah, I can
throwing each other
imagine.
off the bridge.
Yeah,
And through the
I mean,
title, yes, remember that.
Go to hell. just,
oh
just
yeah, that's true.
and take this piece of crap belt to hell with you. I
Yeah, we went
still remember
over.
that segment in the back of my head.
Yeah, really. I actually kind of want to go back and watch like some classic episodes, but yeah,
Man,
I can
the
definitely.
Attitude Era back then was crazy.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I don't think some stuff that were done back then would
Can be
be,
done now. No fucking way.
yeah,
No
yeah,
fucking.
especially
Puppies!
Undertaker.
yeah,
Undertaker's like his Ministry of Darkness gimmick. just just strapping people up to his logo. That's just yikes, right?
Oh
we'll
yeah,
talk about Taker in a moment. Yeah, continue,
it's gonna be a
Alan.
good one. But yeah, I guess in terms of like, I feel like recently there's not been any. I mean, besides Reigns and Lesnar, I feel like MJF and Punk was that's gonna be like the feud of the year, or like just a good like it's gonna be the best feud for a long time until another major thing comes up, in my opinion.
I feel this. I feel that it might not be this year. It might not even be next year. But the ultimate feud of wrestling will come, and it will be Danielson versus Punk, because they are going to get that match that was not given to them in WWE, which was the WrestleMania main event. They are
Oh
gonna
yeah.
they are going to probably main event the biggest AEW pay per view, and they deserve it because it's something they talk about. It's something that Danielson wrote when he was Daniel Bryan in his book, and it's something that even then, even though I was not a mark then, even I went, please have a main event with Daniel Bryan and CM Punk. Please. I don't care who's the heel or the face. I just want it. It probably looks so good. The closest we were supposed to get was Nakamura versus AJ Styles. But apparently they booked them telling them do not be good. Just be average. Yep. That was the story.
Uh, you think that you'd want them to do their best at WrestleMania of all
But
places?
but they were afraid that they were going to overshadow it because they learned from Punk versus Taker. Punk versus Taker was the match of the night, and it overshadowed Once in a Lifetime too.
Once in a lifetime.
I can't believe we
Uh,
had a Once in a Lifetime too.
Imagine telling your wrestlers to wrestle like shit.
Yeah,
yeah.
I just can't.
they did
Like
that. They did that with the.
you can't seriously tell me that someone told them to wrestle like the jobbers.
Yep, they did.
If like if I was in the in that if I was there at that moment when someone said that, I would have smacked them in the face like, shut the fuck up. Let
So,
them wrestle to their heart's content. Let this be the NJPW rematch that
That
AJ Styles and Nakamura deserve instead of it being low blow city.
Yep.
Like
They did that
so
in
dumb.
in the late 2000s. There was a women's match. I cannot remember who they were, but the women were killing it to the point that when they got backstage, they were really happy. And one of the bookers, I would suspect, is Kevin Dunn, that mousy asshole.
Buck tooth motherfucker.
Bucktooth motherfucker, as said as quoted by Jim. To quote Jim Cornette, tell them, do not, you're better than the men. Why are you wrestling like men? So they had another match the week after and they were not as good. And then Kevin Dunn was happy. Or whoever it was. I still suspect Kevin Dunn. But I'm like, what the fuck? Let the women be the women. This was way before AJ Lee started the women's revolution. Of course, Stephanie decided to
to claim it.
to take credit for the women's
Yeah.
revolution, and she has done her work, but I still say AJ Lee started it all. Right. So MJF versus CM Punk at Revolution dog collar match. That's gonna be fun.
That's gonna be fire.
I think Punk is right now having the fun matches, the matches he wants to do for fun, and he knows that he's gonna have fun with MJF. He's not gonna do the 5-star matches. He's not gonna.
I can tell the dog color match is gonna be like a really emotional match because
Yeah,
MJF is gonna pull some stuff that's gonna make the crowd
hate him.
like him and whatnot, and then at the end, MJF's just gonna be like, you know,
Dude, MJF
the typical heel that
Mm.
I expected. He's gonna do something that will definitely make the crowd fall for his little tricks,
Mm-hmm.
and then pull him in just so that MJF can just show it to their faces like I can't believe you fell for this shit. Like what the fuck?
Oh yeah, I feel like that's gonna be the case. What's gonna be surprising if they don't actually do that and they, they stick with like his promo, which be like this would be interesting. I feel like that would be. I feel like that's the better scenario as opposed to the swerve because
Yeah.
a lot of people feel like there's gonna be a swerve coming.
Yeah.
All right.
I
So
would I would be even more surprised if MJF turns out to be the face at the end of the match
uh,
I mm,
and like Punk become the heel like
the double turn, the
double turn.
Austin Hart double turn. Yeah.
double turn.
I
So
mean, it's
that
not to say that MJF would be a bad face. It's just that we're used to seeing him as a heel, and I haven't seen anything from him that would say, "Oh yeah, I can believe him as a face." But I feel like even when he's a face, he's just gonna be like an asshole.
so
Unless he can pull that off, I don't know. I just don't believe MJF as a face yet.
Yes.
Danny, you're calling it MJF wins from emotional, what's the word for it? Emotional torment? No, emotional manipulation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yep. And Alan,
I'm
what's your call?
Ooh, that was really hard because it's like it can kind of go either way. If it is a swerve, then yeah, MJF will definitely win. Either via maybe like Wardlow will come into it, even though they do tease that it's going to be a breakup between them. And actually, there's one thing: Wardlow wasn't there when. Oh wait, no, they usually isn't. He wasn't usually. Was he there last time when they had their promos like Punk and MJF?
He was not the last promo, but he's been there in a few of the promos.
Okay,
Yeah.
not the last one, but he has been there before. So I guess this is. Yeah, I feel like if it is the swerve, then I definitely think MJF. If it's not, if it's actually like a proper like down the middle match, it can kind of I feel like it can kind of go either way. I'm leaning a bit more towards MJF and then Punk, but I feel like they might want to do like the best of three, so we'll be not best of three, sorry, like the three matches, whereas like MJF
the
is
rubber
one, CM Punk,
match.
yeah, the rubber match. So I feel like CM Punk might take this one, and then they'll have one last match at another pay per view or something like that. Or it could just be MJF wins, gets one over on Punk, like in a sense of like his emotional, lack of a better term,
Emotional. Damn it.
fuck you.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry. I just had to say it.
I know. I knew where that was going when it was in my head. But yeah, I feel like that might be the case. So I'm leaning a bit more towards MJF in this regard.
All right, so I am gonna call it where you're gonna be surprised to hear this. I think Punk is gonna win. I think
No, I'm not too surprised.
I think there is not gonna be double swerve. Instead, Wardlow is gonna turn, which leads to a short program between Wardlow and MJF. Wardlow gets up, and then after that, I don't know what will happen after that, but it would lead to MJF against Hangman, and MJF is going to win his title for the first time. I feel that is MJF's time as the best heel in
I
AEW.
feel like he has been the heel
Yep,
in AEW.
yep.
He's one of the
Nobody
pillars.
in AEW, at least heels. We talk about heels. Nobody in AEW has garnered so much heat and so much attention
Uh,
towards them that they're still relevant to this day.
until
From the day AEW was born until now, MJF has just been a constant force when it comes to being a heel. He's always there, and nobody seems to forget about him, which says a
mm,
lot about MJF's ability to, to work the crowd. He might not be the flashiest of wrestlers, but he can damn sure work the crowd and work the wrestling community
yep.
to its knees.
You know what I think if Punk finally turns, this is what's going to happen, and I'm not joking. I think that he will. Punk is a Paul Heyman guy, so when he turns, he will get the manager. The manager is Jim Cornette, because Jim Cornette is very
Oh,
anti Paul Heyman, very anti. And Jim Cornette and Paul Heyman
the,
actually respect each other. They're kind of friends now after years of hating each other. But I think that will be the turn because Carl,
doesn't
uh,
doesn't
uh,
Jim doesn't
uh,
Jim hate AEW
no
or
he
something like that?
no he says now that Punk and Danielson are there and Jade Cargill a bit. It's pushed it
And
up.
Danhausen.
Uh,
Te-
oh no, he says he might have to hate Danhausen if Danhausen only works with the best friends. But right now, Danhausen is only with the best
Uh,
friends because he's still recovering. I bet you when he's healed, he's going to go everywhere.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
yes.
All right. Let's move on because as much I could talk about MJF and CM Punk the whole day, but yeah, but let's move on to Cody and Brandy Rhodes leaving AEW.
Oh
What
yes.
the
yeah.
hell?
Everyone's like, why did Cody leave his position as EVP on AEW just to settle to becoming a wrestler in WWE? When I just feel like, I think for the most part, oh, okay, there's a possibility that he might go to WWE, but at the same time, the man's made a lot of money. He is one of the reasons that AEW has the attention
Exists.
that it has today. Yeah, I mean, of course, the Young Bucks, Kenny Omega, all that stuff. They were the ones that put in the work, but like, I feel like if Cody wasn't there to get people's attention and even possibly like like not convince Tony, but like like if he didn't do it with Tony and the Bucks and all that to make AEW, I don't think AEW would be what it is today.
I agree.
Although I will say, for the longest time, I have no clue why he always insisted on being a face when there were a lot of things about him that felt like a heel. That blonde hair does not convince me of a face. That blonde hair makes him look like a heel more than anything, in my opinion.
One of the funniest things I saw on Reddit, it made me laugh for 2 minutes, was somebody posted, I can't wait for his tattoo logo to be up at the WrestleMania on that hologram, just spinning around.
Oh my
I'm
god.
like, oh, that's gonna look so bad.
That's
I,
that's just funny,
all right,
guys.
Alan.
Also, who convinced Cody to
Did
get
it?
that
Nobody.
tattoo?
I bet you he was
Oh my.
drunk. I don't
Here,
know if
no,
he's
no,
straight
no.
edge,
I'm
but I
telling
bet you
you
he's drunk.
that that tattoo
Is
would have
the
been fine on his leg, but not on his neck. Now he's gonna have to live with the fact that he has such a
the worst
weird
tattoo?
looking.
The worst tattoo in
The
wrestling.
Yeah, he could have had
Oh
it on
no.
on his like chest, on his stomach, on his back, on his neck. Just like, dude, like if you like at least Brock Lesnar puts his penis tattoo on his stomach and chest.
Oh,
You know the
yeah.
sword
Yep, yep.
on his like yeah. At least he puts it on his chest and stomach. At least that's out of the way when he's wearing a
He
shirt.
looks cool. It makes him look even more terrifying.
Yeah,
Yep.
but Cody is like he wears a shirt. Doesn't matter what he wears, unless he's wearing a turtleneck. The tattoo is always down his neck. I don't.
He
Oh
has
my god.
doesn't Dustin Rhodes
Dustin.
love him? If you're
Yeah.
if you're a big brother and you love your young brother, you tell them don't do that shit.
He
Alan,
might have been drunk as well.
Alan,
I'm
your
pretty,
thoughts?
nah, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure Dustin was like, "Yes, go for it, man. You're gonna represent America very well."
By the way,
And then the next day,
I
it's
have
like,
before
oh, fuck.
before I continue, I just have to say Dustin is doing the best work he's ever done in his career in AEW right now.
Yeah,
His matches are amazing.
he's having fun. He's having fun.
His match with Danielson for me is still one of the best matches of 2031. Severely underrated. Okay, Alan, your thoughts?
Yes, I am. It is a bit surprising that there is talks about him going back to WWE when he's got a lot of other options as well. But I think I remember reading somewhere, I don't remember where, that like this is what's his name, Nick Khan's like decision to kind of be like, let's not be assholes to like all these past people because like they still worked for us, so we should respect them as
After
as they
releasing
are.
96 wrestlers in 2 years,
Well,
I don't think
yeah.
that does not
Well,
sound like Nick Khan.
The
Well, I
bad
mean, yeah,
con.
it's like,
Well, with the garbage bags for Mickey James, that does not sound like Nick
Yeah.
Khan.
Yeah.
I think I read somewhere that he felt sorry about that. I don't know whether it's true or not. That's just kind of what I read.
Nah, he's just saying that to save face.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can imagine that's the case.
Like
Yeah.
like the thing with WWE is that it's like the WWE is like, oh, we welcome past wrestlers that were in our company before to join back and work with us. In the meantime, let's hold Mustafa Ali hostage and
Oh, by the
let's
way,
give Mickey James a
hashtag
stuff
free
back in a
Ali.
garbage
Thank
bag.
you.
Hashtag free Ali.
Hashtag free Ali.
And also,
Mhm.
and also, let's spread rumors about how this wrestler was hard to work with. You know,
Yep. Yep.
I mean, I get it. Like Keith Lee, I don't know why, but I don't know why Keith Lee talks the way he talks.
We'll talk about Keith
outside
Lee in a
of that.
second. We'll talk
Yeah.
about Keith Lee after this.
But like
Yeah.
the thing, but yeah, I think the main thing is that from me, it doesn't feel like Cody is joining WWE, although that's unsurprising if he does. I just feel like maybe Cody's taking a break from wrestling or whatnot to focus on his family and everything. And then
Me
maybe
too.
when he feels like coming back to wrestling, he'll go back to AEW because I don't know.
I feel like
Leaving
it's a
AEW
work.
just to
Yeah.
leaving AEW just to go back to WWE just to not have a high position like he does in AEW. That's just a lose situation there. I think what makes sense the most is that he's just taking a break, spending time with his baby and everything. Because we all know how much wrestling can take a toll on somebody, especially when they do all that crazy stuff on their bodies and the injuries and everything. So yeah, I think in my opinion, he's taking a break before he goes back to wrestling.
Danny,
That's-
do you think it's a work? I think it's a work.
I mean,
I think it's working, everybody.
I mean, like,
I am so convinced it's a work. I actually think that he's gonna be inserted into the triple threat main event at WrestleMania, win both titles, and I still say it's a work.
Surprising.
I
don't
will say
know.
no, it's coming back.
if that happens and he actually goes over Reigns and Lesnar, I'm gonna laugh. I'm gonna actually laugh if that happens. But I don't think that's happening. I don't think. That's
Oh
happening.
no, that's a pipe dream.
I think
Well,
Vince.
Vince has a match, so he
no,
might.
Vince like
Vince has a match in WrestleMania.
yeah against
So-
Pat McAfee.
So yes, Alan didn't know this. So he might die, and then they go, "All right, Cody, you're gonna win everything. The man who ate you is gone."
All I know about that was he was on Pat McAfee's like talk show. I didn't know they were.
Yeah, he's
actually
coming
doing
on.
a
He's not
match.
yet. He's not on yet.
Oh,
Oh
okay.
yeah.
Yeah, I like it's like is he told Nick Khan, I'm gonna die in this match, and then you're taking over the company.
But
Maybe.
Alan, what do you think? Where should go Cody and Brandy? We didn't talk about Brandy, but where should Cody and Brandy go?
Where should they go? Um, I'm kind of on the same page as you. Like, I feel like if he goes to WWE, like, I feel like if he does, he'll probably be a big thing for like a couple of months, and then he'll get lost in the mid card or some bullshit like that.
Yep.
And then the second option is, like you said, this is a work. He's just gonna take some time off, and then eventually he'll go back to being maybe not the same position he was, but maybe he'll go back to AEW as like a full time worker. But yeah, it's a bit hard to say what's going to happen to him. There's lots of choices. I don't. Is he on good terms with New Japan?
Yeah, he's on good terms with everybody.
Ah, then
Like,
he,
Yeah.
I
he can go
mean,
anywhere.
AEW is on good terms with New Japan,
Oh,
and
yeah.
Yeah, it's
The
true.
Bucks and Omega were like, uh, kind of on sour terms with New Japan and Ring of Honor for like a bit until the Forbidden Door was wide open, quote unquote.
I'm still waiting for Okada to come to AEW.
Nick Khan versus Tony Khan. Whoever wins becomes Khan.
Khan,
All right.
the Great Okada.
But now in terms of Brandy, I think that she can go away. Uh, no, but
Are
no,
you one of those? Are you one of
no,
those
no.
Brandy haters?
No, I don't. I don't actually hate Brandy. I just think that she doesn't have a character, and that's the problem.
Ah,
If
Yeah.
yeah, her
Yeah,
character is the backup who the backup of Cody that works, but the backup of Cody who is bigger than most other people that doesn't. The whole program with Dan Lambert was weird, where she and Dan
oh
Lambert
yeah.
were trying to out promo each other. That was weird, and it led to nothing. So yeah, so it's a. I think I know Brandy has done a lot of great work for AEW. I think she should stay backstage. If she comes on, she should come on as somebody who doesn't take attention away from what's happening and take attention away from the women. I'm not a Brandy hater. I just think that she she tries to put herself on without having a character that's full. But
Ah,
I seriously think it's a work.
hmm.
Mm.
Right.
I say it goes either way.
Yeah, you say it's going to say Danny, work.
Uh, I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's not a work. Maybe he actually just wants to take a break and he just wants to chill out for like a bit.
Oh, to be fair though, there is one thing I want to say. I would love to watch Cody Rhodes versus Bad Bunny, because Bad Bunny can go.
That buddy is
Yeah,
actually
yeah,
the
Bad Bunny.
Can go.
I mean that's what happens when an actual celebrity is a fan of wrestling
Yeah.
instead of bringing some random celebrity who's
Oh,
not into wrestling.
Snooki had
Oh god, I remember that.
Snooki has had a more has had a WrestleMania match. Can you believe that? Oh my goodness. Anyway,
Yep.
keeping to AEW, Jay White and Keith Lee, and also Buddy Matthews. I forgot to put him in. All,
Oh yeah.
Who's Buddy Matthews
he was
again?
Buddy Murphy
Buddy
on
Murphy.
NXT.
Okay.
Yeah, he came in this week, joining Malachi Black and Brody King in the House of Black.
He went from being a disciple of Seth Rollins to being a disciple of Alistair.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah,
Yeah, but Buddy's like, hey man, I'm sorry for gouging an eye out. Can I join your cult? Malachi, sure. That's just funny.
I have to say the House of Black is a great tag team now trio now. The only
Yeah.
issue I have with them is the fact that the lights go on and go off like the Undertaker. It's a bit too much. They
Bit too much.
just the last Wednesday's Dynamite, during the whole match, entrances and exits, the lights went on and off at least 7 times. I lost count after 7.
Oh,
So that was a bit too
Hey
much.
man, maybe like 5 out of 7 times the electricity was actually going
the light bulb. The light bulb went kaput.
Tony
This is
Khan
shit.
going, oh, damn it, I need to save money. I got all these fellas in the team. I need to save some money. All right, switch off the lights. Switch it back on. So yeah, Alan, what are your thoughts about Jay White, Keith Lee, and Buddy
Give me a
Matthews?
second. I'll be right back.
Sure.
All right.
Yep.
For Keith Lee, who everyone was talking about, it wasn't that surprising that he was gonna go to AEW. But I do have to admit, like, one thing is his theme, his entrance is a banger.
Yeah, I am limitless. Limitless, yes. That was a great.
Limitless, yes.
That match was great though.
Just tossing around. What was it, Marquez? Is it or yeah?
No,
was it-
Isaiah,
it was
Isaiah. I forgot his last
Cassidy.
last name. Cassidy, yes.
Yeah, Mark Queen and Isaiah Cassidy. It was,
Isaiah
yeah.
Kennedy. Isaiah Cassidy.
I think it's Cassidy.
Not orange.
No. This one's with a K.
Oh, okay. Yes. Ah, yeah. You got it right. So Isaiah Cassidy. Yeah.
You're just flying him around. I think I remember one part of the match. Keith does like a Samoan drop, and you can just hear him scream.
No, it's not that. When he threw Isaiah up, you can go. He sold that well. I
Yeah.
am so impressed with him,
Mm.
like how he sold it, and both of them actually.
I do
But-
feel a bit bad for him because he was kind of like the placeholder for like, like you're basically there to get beat by Keith Lee, but you still like have a good time, I guess.
Well, he's there. He's there as well to have a program with Matt Hardy, because Jeff is coming.
Oh yeah.
Jeff is coming. Yeah, he actually accidentally admitted it on video. He's coming. So yeah, that's essentially what's going to happen.
I just remember, just to go on a bit on a tangent, I remember on Danhausen's newest vlog, he was actually talking to, what's her name? The bunny? I
Yeah.
forgot what her real name is.
Uh,
And I remember he was like, oh, do you think I could join the stable? I was like, I don't think you want to join our stable. We lose all the time. He's like, oh, don't worry, I lose all the time as well.
actually,
It's so funny.
if I'm not mistaken, not to say all, about 9 of the matches I've seen Danhausen on YouTube, he's only won 1.
Did
He's
you see the one I sent you?
Oh, crap! I forgot about that. Never mind. I'll watch it another time.
Yeah, that one he wins on, but it's such a funny match. It really is.
But he's
Okay.
he's great. Yeah. Anyway,
Oh, yeah.
so Jay White, Jay White.
Jay White was surprising.
I was as surprised as well, because nothing against Jay White. I didn't think he was needed there. But he might
Really,
be.
though.
Maybe he's on a part-time basis because he's also on Impact with the Bullet Club. So maybe he's just there to help with the whole Undisputed versus Bullet Club, because Kenny's coming back possibly next week even, because he's
Oh,
expected
really?
he's expected to come back end of February, early March, after his injury, after the Hangman title defense. So yeah, Jay White was a surprise to me, to be honest.
I think sorry.
Yep.
I think wasn't it something about like how Tony kind of botched the Forbidden Door thing because he was talking about Keith Lee, so it was like, yeah, they actually the big name to like, kind of balance out the thing, so they somehow was able to strike a deal with Jay White.
Yeah, no, I'm not mistaken. What I understood from it, he used the wrong term. Yeah, because it's not a discussion with New Japan. It was just a discussion with Jay White. All right, if it was a discussion with New Japan, like for example, if they got Kenta back, which, well, he was a match with Danielson and Punk, so if they got Kenta back, that'd be great. That would be the opening of the Forbidden Door. But yeah,
What happened to Kento?
oh no, we we're just talking about the possibility of Kenta versus Danielson versus Punk, because it's something he asked for on Twitter, and Punk gave him coordinates to the United Center in Chicago, which is Punk's home stadium. Anyway,
Kenta about to walk into Punk's home and be like, "Give me back my GTS, you piece of shit."
no, he wants a match with Punk and Danielson. Can you imagine that match? That match could be the whole Dynamite. Like the whole Dynamite is one match, and you're just watching, going, "Oh, I love wrestling." Yeah, it's
Just
yeah.
just 2 hours of this match, 2
Yeah.
hour Iron match. Let's
Yeah.
go.
I have an idea for a funny match that you just said that.
What?
Kenta, Punk, and Danhausen, the battle of the GTS.
No,
Ah!
not Danielson, Danhausen.
Oh,
What
that'd
if
be very
Danielson
funny.
goes in and suddenly Danielson starts doing the GTS?
Oh god. Everyone just
I mean, I mean, I mean,
The GTR,
Danielson,
go to recycle.
Danielson already does the knee
the
that
running knee.
Kenta does.
Yeah,
Yeah, the running knee that
I
Kenta
love that
does.
Danielson does not have a finishing move in AEW. He just does
Oh wait,
whatever.
really?
No, he doesn't.
Really?
Whatever.
Yep. He
Oh,
Oh.
in every match. Okay, all his significant moves are the triangle, the label lock, and the running knee, the Busaido knee. He's
mhm.
won, if I remember correctly, from what I've watched, he's won 3 matches with Busaido, with triangle, 2 matches with triangle, 2 matches with label lock, and a couple matches with other moves. So he has stated that he wants to bring back the unexpected in terms of wrestling. I tell you, Dennison is having the best matches in AEW. Like Punk is having the matches that really catch you emotionally and mentally, and the storyline's great there. Danielson is having the matches where you go, holy crap, this should be in the Library of Congress as a great match. His 3 matches for his match with Omega and his 2 Hangman matches was mwah, just beautiful. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but you guys really should.
It's
No, I haven't
it's
really.
also great that Danielson. I feel like Danielson's like a heel, but he's really not. But he's
Mm.
also not a face as well. So he's like back to acting to
He's a,
his like old
The
gimmick
demeanor.
before he joined WWE.
so is Danielson now the Stone Cold of AEW, whereas Punk is clearly the Rock. I mean, Punk is the movie actor compared to these two.
I mean, I mean, the difference between Danielson and Stone Cold is that Danielson has yet to shave himself bald.
And also Danielson is also straight edge compared to Stone Cold, who's a beer guzzling maniac. Speaking of
Pretty,
Stone Cold,
I'm pretty sure he doesn't down the beer into his mouth. He just spills it all over him.
no,
Beer bath.
speaking of Stone Cold, that moves on to our next point. Stone Cold is coming back.
I
Rumors.
mean, doesn't he always come back?
No,
No,
he
for
has
like
a
an actual
match. He has a match.
Against who?
Kevin
Owens.
Owens.
I guess I guess Stone Cold decided that enough was enough and wanted to shoot fight Kevin Owens for making his stunner look stupid.
Not only that,
Well,
I don't agree about that point, but yeah,
Stone Cold still has the better stunner, in my
everything
opinion.
that Owens is tweeting and talking about is making fun of Austin, Texas. So where WrestleMania is. So yeah, he's coming back.
Where? No, wait.
hmm.
Where's Austin? Where's Steve Austin in Texas again? I forgot where he was born in.
Well, he's in Texas somewhere. I don't know if he is actually from
I'm
Austin.
I'm
I forgot
looking
where
it
he
up.
was.
I'm looking it up.
Yep.
Yeah, go on. I forgot where his
He's from.
hometown is.
Oh, he is in Austin, Texas.
Oh yeah, I
Yes.
mean that's where WrestleMania is gonna be.
if
What's this
look,
year?
if Austin has any significant of pride in him, he will not come back to wrestle a full match. If he's coming back to wrestle a match, it'll just be one stunner, done, leave. Like we've already seen Shawn Michaels come out of retirement for the Saudi Arabia pay per view, and that was a shit show.
But
Well, that's cool.
Kane accidentally got unmasked in that match as
yeah,
well, if I
that was
remember
that was
correctly.
horrible.
Oh, he did. I didn't know
He
that.
Goldberg,
did. He
Goldberg
did. That was a horrible match.
Not to mention Triple H actually tore his like pec, and
Oh
they had
yeah,
to
he
go
tore his
surgery
pec
for
over
that.
there.
Yeah,
But no,
and then Goldberg should be freaking retired, not wrestling matches
he's
anymore,
still recently man.
He's
unless
still
it's a
wrestling.
slugfest.
And suddenly he appears in AEW. Can you imagine?
No,
Oh, he no, he would not. He would not.
nah.
Anyway, what I want to say. So Stone Cold is appearing. He's been training since December. I think he is going to go for a full-on match, not a long match, probably
I
10 minutes.
I hope. Look, man, I don't want him to hurt himself. The man wears 2 knee braces like a badass.
Yep.
Has a broken freaking neck. Except he didn't participate in the Olympics, and I feel like, and I don't know. I mean, yeah, he hasn't been wrestling for a while, but I feel like one accident and he's probably gonna hurt himself really badly.
Yeah, I
Like
mean,
what happened to
It's
Sting?
it's not
the,
it's not to say that Stone Cold shouldn't wrestle. Stone Cold can do what Stone Cold wants, because I don't think I want this bald man come up to me and start um whi- scream whispering nothings into my face like he does to Vince McMahon whenever he stutters him. But yeah, I don't know. I don't think I want Stone Cold to like hurt himself really badly. The
yeah.
man is old. Let him retire,
But then
man.
remember, he's against Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens is very good at keeping his opponents safe.
At
Remember?
least he's not against Seth Rollins. That would be a
Uh,
that would be a whole
No,
different
no.
story.
Imagine he was against Nia Jax. He would
dead.
he would be in his wheelchair.
That
Yeah,
was
what-
a
imagine
Yeah,
her.
casting.
Imagine he's stunning her, and then she goes, "My hole, my hole."
No,
Ah.
but like seriously though, I'm just like hoping that Austin has at least some amount of pride in him, that is like, I'm not accepting this money even if you give me your entire company and I run WWE. I'm not accepting it. I'd rather stay retired and everything.
I I think what he's doing is he's only accepting because he trusts Owens. One thing about Austin, unlike The Rock, because The Rock is busy with movies, Austin is still keeping up fully with wrestling. He knows who to go. Um, he, he wanted to come back in the early 2010s because he wanted to fight Punk. Because he knows not only will it be good, Punk will keep him safe. Because Punk is safe. See his power drivers.
What happened to that?
That
What happened to that?
that never happened because let's face it, Punk wasn't really the guy. But yeah,
If someone like Steve Austin wanted to wrestle Punk, why would you deny that?
because Punk was not the guy, right?
Yeah,
Yes, this is Steve Austin we're talking
Okay,
about.
okay.
This is WWE
This is Vince. Plans change, pal. Because they had a video of Punk and Austin doing a promo for WWE
E13.
13, yeah,
Yeah.
and that was the seeds of it, and he went, "No, pal." Yeah, Alan, your thoughts?
pal. That's
Alan's thoughts. Spunk on my
mean-
egg.
Fucking egg. Hang on, just go on a tangent.
golden
That one
egg.
wasn't that whole story about the egg thing because they
Okay,
couldn't get
so
The Rock
so
back?
The Rock gave him an egg when The Rock started wrestling, a golden egg, which cost like a couple of $1 million. Remember, The Rock just started wrestling then, even though his father was Rocky Johnson. No, Rocky. I can't remember the father's name.
Yeah,
Rock was
Soul
not
Man
that.
Rocky Johnson.
Rock was not that famous. So SummerSlam was supposed to be Rock's 25th anniversary or something like that. Of him debuting at the WWE. While he never appeared. So the egg, Vince brought it because he was trying to remember the Rock. And suddenly Austin Theory, I nearly could say not Austin Aries, Austin Theory took the egg and wanted to take selfie. And Vince McMahon lost his shit. The next day, he called all wrestlers from Raw and SmackDown to appear on Raw so he could look for the egg. And then Austin Theory goes, "Sorry, I was just taking a selfie." And after that, Austin Theory has been appearing with Vince. So the original plan for Shane was for Shane to fight Austin Theory at WrestleMania. Apparently, Shane had the jealous son thingy. We were having fun, but yeah. So I love Austin Theory, but I kind of feel bad for him that Vince sees something in him. It's bad when Vince doesn't see anything in you. It's worse when he does see something in you, aka
And
Lex.
then he does nothing
Yep, or
about it.
aka Lex Luger.
Also, remember when everyone was saying Vince saw something in Andrade, and then nothing happened after that?
Yeah, yeah. Now Andrade's doing the competition. All right. So what was we talking about? Yeah, Stone Cold
Back
is back.
Boston.
Stone Cold.
Stone Cold is back.
Yeah.
He's if he comes back, he's definitely gonna win. They cut. He's gonna. If they
No.
can pull out a great match, he's gonna win while putting Owens over because he he. I believe if we get the old Stone Cold back, he'll be that good. But
I mean,
Although
Yeah.
thing
I
is
will
right.
say-
Thing is right. Like you know for a fact that even when Stone Cold puts Kevin Owens over, there's gonna be a few amount of people be like, oh, part timer comes in, buries the current roster, suck a
you know
dick.
that. I mean,
Or
yeah, that's gonna
something
be
like
but
that.
obvious.
but the thing is, my argument with that is Stone Cold's no Goldberg. I love Goldberg, but Goldberg couldn't work even during his best days. Yep.
Oh dear.
Yep. I mean,
There was a reason. There was a reason why he only kept wrestling squash matches.
Yeah.
in
Whereas Stone Cold
WCW.
has done Iron Man matches with Bret Hart and Triple H, so Stone Cold could still go. Anyway,
I mean, he's up there in age, so I'm not expecting too much from Steve Austin, to be honest.
That's fair.
I'm not keeping my hopes high up.
I'm not
man.
gonna
The
keep
man,
my
the man
hope.
is old.
I'm not keeping my hopes high for a 6.0 6-star Dave Meltzer review, but I'm just
Oh,
hoping
no.
to have fun. WrestleMania.
Yeah,
If
I
I
just
can't
hope
have
it'll be
fun
an
at
entertainment
WrestleMania,
match.
I know WWE is fucked.
True.
Yeah. Right. Still speaking about WWE. Cesaro leaves WWE. This
Oh,
just
yeah.
happened
Why-
tonight.
Why did you say what? I thought that was the Jack Swagger Zeb Coulter theme.
No, that was the Cesaro team. Wasn't it?
No, Jack.
No,
Jack
that
Swagger-
was.
Oh,
that was-
oh yes, I got it wrong.
Oh yeah, no,
Like
that
he
was
joined,
the-
he
Oh,
joined,
I mean,
he
was
joined them
part of
like
that one.
later on.
Yep. Sorry, my mistake. No, I'm doing that team because just before we went on, I was watching him win the Andre the Giant
Yeah, that went
memorial,
nowhere.
Oh, the memorial.
and then that didn't go anywhere. But that was a song
now,
that he won.
now it's a memorial for Cesaro.
Mhm.
Oh,
Fucking
the thing is
hell!
right-
I-
but the
was
thing
sad
is
about
right.
that.
I feel like you gotta understand from Cesaro's point of view. He's been in the company since the beginning. They gave him like the U.S. title for a bit, and then they gave him nothing, and then they made him they put in a bunch of tag teams with
Which
like
which he excelled
uh,
in all of them.
yeah, because he's a great wrestler. I definitely can agree that he struggled with character quite a bit, but I felt like if you gave him the right material, he could have pulled it off.
No,
Like, and,
they gave him Heyman, but they pulled that away.
yeah, no, the thing is, they gave him Heyman so that Heyman could stay on TV and promote Brock Lesnar while he was with Cesaro, which was the stupidest thing that they could do.
If they were gonna
Like,
give
why-
Heyman, give him Heyman. Heyman himself.
Oh my god.
Heyman himself has said he wanted to be with Cesaro as well, but he had to focus because that's what he was told.
Like I feel like, I mean, here's the thing. So like even when the company treated him very badly, he stayed with the company for the longest time. And during that time, he's probably made a lot of money. So, in my opinion, this wasn't much of a surprise when he left WWE. And if you like look into the details and everything, it wasn't like he got fired from WWE. He literally let his contract expire, and then he said, "I'm not renewing my contract. I'm out of here."
Eh,
The man's made a lot of money. He's
Yep.
like 40. He's like 40 plus years
42.
old. He still looks good for a 40
He looks
year old man.
amazing. He still looks amazing.
Yeah. He
You,
like if you told me that he was 40 years old, I wouldn't believe you until I actually looked it up. He looks younger. He looks like 30, man. It's probably because he's bald. That's why.
all right, Alan. Thoughts on Cesaro leaving EEW? Do you know the details?
Wait, he left
AEW?
AEW?
Sorry, WWE.
Oh man, he wasn't even in AEW.
Sorry,
yet.
WWE.
Oh, wow.
WWE should actually change their name because they're not wrestling anymore. SP
I mean,
SE
I mean,
SEW
Entertainment.
SEWER.
sports
Get it? Sports Entertainment.
wrestling.
No. Worldwide. Sports Entertainment Worldwide Enterprise Republic Sewer. Because come on, the products in the drain.
pretty much.
Yep.
Oh my
I am
God.
sad to see him leave, but then at the same time, it is good in a way because like there's nothing for him there. Like he's not as much as other people want it. He definitely is not gonna get
Yeah,
that
like
brass ring.
you gotta like be in this position too. The company ain't giving you shit. The closest you ever got to an actual world championship match was with Reigns, and you were only used as a filler feud so
Yet
that
he over
he
excelled.
Yeah.
yeah he did so well. I was like I don't know why I had like my hopes up for them to push Cesaro to like a main event title
Maybe.
win where when they put him in a feud with Seth Rollins. That was a great feud, by the way.
They should be called CWE, catfishing wrestling world entertainment, because they catfish us into giving us hope. Yeah. Alan,
Yeah.
But yeah, like
Alan, what? Sorry.
yeah, Alan. Well, I don't know, man. What do you think of this?
Well, as I said, like I am sad to see because it's kind of sad because like cause it's funny thing for me is I never really appreciate a wrestler until I kind of like see them properly, and then when they leave, it's like, oh man, now I actually do feel bad about it, because it's like they're good, and you hear a lot of good things about them. So knowing that they sort of never got to reach that mountaintop even once is a bit depressing. Although even some people who do reach the mountaintop once, they don't really do much with. I think it's still a great moment when they do. But I guess it's good in a way because, like Danny said, like he's probably made a lot of money. So in this case, it's more of him just wanting to wanting to show his skills and prove that he is good to go. So that as it is, it's quite good because now he's got he can still go, so he has loads of options. He's got AEW, he can go to New Japan if he wants to, he can go to
NWA.
NWA, Impact, hell CCW if you want. No, CCW, sorry,
Ah,
GCW.
no, no, please
No, no.
don't.
No.
No.
Oh,
GC, nah, go to GCW and
actually,
fight
to
Nick
be
Gage.
to be honest, this is what I'm going to do. I would do if I was Cesaro. Yes, everybody says he should go to AEW because he should be put into the Revelation ladder match as the Joker and get the brass ring, because that would be hilarious. Because he gets the brass ring a week after leaving WWE.
Oh,
But for long term, this is what I do. I would get him to be the ultimate rival to Cardona, aka Zack Ryder. Cardona
Ah,
has six titles. I can't remember right now.
he's got wait, let's see.
He's got
He's got
NWA,
NWA.
GCW,
he
Impact.
he recently won the and
NWA.
NW something
Yeah.
title.
The
So-
NWA.
New York something wrestling title or something
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Really?
recently.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So I would love Claudio. Why call him Cesaro now? He's Claudio. Claudio Castagnelli, I think. Claudio Castagnelli, even though he's Swedish. All right, to come on and just challenge Cardona for each of the title and just go around. He does not have to win everything, but he will win some, and that will be awesome. And
Best of
yeah.
best of 7, except it's not against Sheamus, it's against Cardona.
Oh,
Oh no, no.
and let's face it,
I mean,
Cardona is having the time of his life. So
Oh
he,
yeah.
he needs a rival that around. I mean, he could have a great rivalry with Nick Aldis in NWA, but imagine a rival that follows him around. That would be that would be
quite good actually.
that would be awesome. And
That would be
then
good.
he can appear in AEW after. But that's how I would book him right now.
Hmm.
If I,
No, that's actually quite good.
that would be great. That would be great in my opinion. So, but I'm hoping that wherever he feels he's happy, because he deserves better. Apparently, if I remember, if this story is correct, it might be something else. Was it Rollins and Orton were going to have a match? Rollins, they wanted to figure out how to counter the curb storm into an RKO, and they actually got Cesaro to consult on that,
Ooh.
because he has such a great wrestling brain, and a lot of wrestlers consult with Cesaro in terms of moves and counters, because he's has amazing way to figure out how things work, and that's how much he was valued in WWE by other performers and people backstage. So I love Claudio Castagnelli, aka Cesaro. I hope you're happy. I can't wait to see you. Maybe next week. Get in the press ring and fucking
That would
over
be nice.
everybody else.
Here's the
That's quite
thing. Here's the
understanding.
thing though.
Yeah.
Like again, like it's got like people. This is like related to Cesaro, but like a lot of people. Well, I think a lot of people know, but people are like wondering, man, why is WWE locker room morality and emotion all time low? First of all, Big E loses the title
Oh yeah.
in a multi-man match without even getting
Uh,
pinned. Did he get pinned by Lesnar?
No, he
no,
did
no,
not.
he didn't.
Yeah, and Big E is like, all right, well, that's my run. All right, now to move, now time to move on. Like, and then, freaking, what's his name? Bobby Lashley
Hmm.
lost the title without even getting eliminated properly as well
Although
because
although
he
he
got
was,
he
Oh
got
yeah.
injured.
yeah, that was real life injury. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, no, they made a kayfabe injury
Yep.
so that they would cover up his actual injury. And you also got Kofi losing to Brock Lesnar in a very humiliating way, and Kofi's like, all right, that's my run. I ain't going back for a rematch anymore.
Yep. No,
Uh,
Uh,
by the way, he got injured during the match with Brock at Royal Rumble, just to prove that the Royal Rumble was a total shit show.
oh yeah.
oh my
Shoulder
god.
got
Yeah,
smacked.
those German suplexes by Brock looked very
He,
unsafe.
he
Yeah.
kept landing on his shoulder. He's like,
No,
oh god.
he landed on his shoulder because he was sick of getting landing on his head, and that's when he injured himself. And you go, oh
No.
god, what? I'm not blaming either of them. I'm just blaming the booking because that just didn't work. Anyway, we got
Man.
a couple more things, three more things to go through.
I
Still
would
without.
like it's just unfortunate. Like, it's like slowly over time, like WWE, like because the locker room feels lifeless and like there's not a lot of fun guys anymore in the
Yeah.
locker room.
Yep.
The product is also getting affected as well.
Yep.
You want a healthy locker room feeling to like make the product feel
And
lively. You
Reigns is
know?
a good locker room leader, but
Yeah.
you don't see him as somebody who has who brings up the energy of everybody else. He's the cool one,
Yeah.
which works. But you don't see him like being the one who sets the example in a more positive way. I'm not saying he's negative. Just you don't see him as the guy, right? To be the locker room leader. Now let's jump on.
Oh,
Under
yeah, wait. Before I move on, it's kind of funny that everybody that has played with Xavier Woods on Up Up Down Down has
It's
gotten
gone.
released.
I
Yeah.
was just about to
Yeah,
say that. Yeah.
I was just watching that. Yeah.
And like I'm pretty sure Xavier Woods isn't doing anything Up Up Down Down related right now, right? Because it was revealed that he wasn't
Uh,
getting paid for it or something.
No,
I don't
okay,
know.
so what WWE does with third party is they will hold the IP, and then they will give a cut, which is not much. So that remember that whole story with the Twitch issue and everything like that?
Yeah,
Yep.
oh
So
no.
yeah,
so now wrestlers are allowed to be on the Twitch. Wrestlers are allowed to be on anything that makes them money. But WWE, the money is sent to WWE first and then sent to the wrestlers. So WWE takes a cut. So yeah,
Uh,
that's fun. Imagine, like for example, okay, let's say somehow, luckily, this video makes the money out of nowhere. All right,
yeah.
I would split it evenly, all three of us. Okay, would it be fucked if I would go? All right, there's three of us. Danny, Alan, you guys get 20% each, and I will get the other 60%. That'd be fucked.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh yeah,
Oh, but
remember when Zelena Vega got fired because she didn't agree with it?
yes.
yes, yeah,
Yeah, and then she came back.
of course.
That
she
was
But
came
weird.
she came back. She came back because she thought she would still be with Malachi, but then Malachi got released.
yeah,
And that was the stupidest thing that WWE could have done because they literally released Malachi when he was building his character, and then he went to AW with the same character
all
that
right.
he built up on WWE. That was a mistake.
No, but no, I was saying yes. It will be 33, 33, right? Will be fair. But imagine if somebody else comes in, right, and goes, okay, now I'm going to host the three of you on my channel. I don't know. Now I'm going to host the three of you on Bob channel, but the money goes to me, and then it'll go to three of you, and I'll take a cut and not doing anything. So yeah. Oh, so that's the WWE for you. All right, I'm gonna jump to the next one. Undertaker in the Hall of Fame. Does he
Oh
deserve?
yeah,
Finally.
he is getting inducted. I
Finally,
wonder
Finally.
I wonder who's gonna induct him into the Hall of Fame though. There's like a lot of possibilities. It could be Kane,
Yeah, Kane is one.
okay.
Vince. I mean,
I
who else?
think I think if Vince has said that he doesn't want to doesn't want to appear on the Hall of Fame, and he is a rule in the Hall of Fame to never thank him, right? In the speeches,
Really?
Yep, that's his rule. But
For a man,
it,
for a man who likes to stroke his own ego.
and it has a match on WrestleMania at 76 years old. Yeah. But
He doesn't want people to thank him. Like
but
what?
I think okay. Despite all of that,
I guess it's to like sorry. I guess it's to like it's to make sure that it's like it's their moment and not his. But
yeah.
then like there's so many moments in wrestling where it was all about him, and then Hall of Fame is like it's not about me, pal. It's about you.
Okay, that's much better Vince, by the way. It's not so much Hogan anymore. But no, but I think that if there's one time that Vince would go against that rule, it would be for for Taker. Yeah. So
I can see that.
I mean, nobody's gonna say Taker doesn't deserve it.
Yeah, and Taker
Obviously.
definitely deserved it, man. Like, what he's been on our screens for how long? Like I mean, like
30
he's
some
wrestled
years.
he's wrestled for so long.
Yep.
There were many moments where I felt like he should have retired, but at the same time, it's like,
He just kept going.
yeah, he just kept going,
Yep.
and I maybe he did it for the money. I don't know what the reason is, but
Yeah.
Not loyalty as well.
he's definitely deserving of the Hall of Fame induction.
Yeah.
He's
Mm.
Like Alan said, he was loyalty. Well, I watched Undertaker the Last Ride, the
Oh, the
documentary.
documentary.
He just wanted the perfect farewell, and he didn't get that when he lost to Brock. He felt he didn't get that the year after. He felt he didn't get that when he lost to Roman. He felt he got that when he, strangely enough, won against Styles at that pandemic match. The
The boneyard
feel
match.
no,
like
but yeah, and it's I find it hilarious that he won because the tradition in wrestling is your last match you go on your shield, but Undertaker has been such an idol, an icon
yeah.
that he's the one person that people go, yeah, I don't mind that you won on your last match.
I
So
feel like like a lot of people respect Taker so much to the point that they're willing to take a loss for Taker.
yep,
There was so many wrestlers that Undertaker was like, I want you to break the streak, and then everyone's like, no, I don't want to
No.
do that.
mm,
I respect you too much. And then Brock's here, and he's like, I
do you know there are stories that apparently he wanted Punk to break the streak,
yeah.
and
Yeah, I think I heard that.
and Punk said he didn't mind losing or winning, but he wanted it to be the main event. And of course, it was, again, I mentioned this before. It was Cena,
It was the last
Cena
time.
Rock.
Rock too.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
oh no, and sorry, it
Once in a
was
once
a
in a
lifetime
lifetime.
too.
No,
Okay,
it's
maybe.
twice in a lifetime. No, the first Cena Rock match was great.
That was great.
And then I was like, okay, maybe they'll do a rematch, but literally like the year after WrestleMania, it's like
They,
after that WrestleMania, I was
they
like,
should have
why?
opened it. They should have opened the show rather than close the show. If they opened the show, it would have been a nice continuation. The last WrestleMania, Cena Rock. First WrestleMania, Cena Rock.
No,
It would have
like
been
the funny thing is that it was once in a lifetime. The next year,
twice in
it's
life.
happening again.
All right, Alan, you were saying something?
Oh
I think that I was gonna just say when they're gonna tease like thrice in a lifetime or something like that.
No.
Oh, I think if Rock didn't get injured in that twice
Second.
in a lifetime match,
Yep.
there would
They might
definitely
have
would have
done that,
been
yeah.
free in a lifetime. Oh my gosh, that would have been the best thing ever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know who's going to induct Taker. My feelings are if Paul Bearer was still alive, it would definitely be him.
It would definitely be
Yep,
him, yeah.
but if not, the two people will probably be Kane or Vince.
And Vince is out of the question.
No, but the thing, that's why I said if he was to break the rule The one time he would break the rule was probably be Taker. Who else?
Wasn't
Yeah,
didn't
true.
Ted DiBiase in the Survivor Series, like, wasn't he part of DiBiase's team?
No, no. I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
I can't remember that.
He debuted with Brother Love, and
Bruce
DiBiase
Pritchard.
introducing
Yeah,
him.
Bruce Pritchard is still there, so that's fine. Brother Love, Brother Love could induct him as well. That could be a.
Nah,
As lo-
it needs to be someone that he has like a long history with. Kane makes sense, you know.
no,
Yeah, it's very hard to say.
I just thought of something, right?
Yes.
You know how WWE has been breaking our hearts since the pandemic started and it's getting worse. This might happen. They might break our hearts the ultimate way. Kevin Dunn. Ah,
No,
Alan, do you
no.
know Kevin Dunn? Do you know what he's done to WWE?
I've heard the name before, but I don't know
All right,
enough about him.
this is an example. There was one WrestleMania where they had a guy Pete Rose, and they also had Jerry Lawler, right?
Okay.
And Jim Cornette was there, and Kevin Dunn told Jim Cornette, please focus on. But he's a commentator. Please focus on talking about Pete Rose because everybody in wrestling knows. Everybody knows Pete Rose. Nobody knows Jerry Lawler. And you go, they're wrestling friends. Everybody knows Jerry Lawler. This was in the 90s, and then
Okay.
yeah, he's that kind of person. He thinks that. Celebrities are more important than the wrestlers themselves. There was one period of time where every week there was a different guest host and it was a
Oh yeah,
celebrity.
I remember that.
That was Kevin Dunn. You know the whole you know how bad the camera work in WWE is now, right? Like they cut.
Yeah.
Somebody could start a punch here, and there'll be a new angle when they hit the face. Maybe an angle a new camera angle in between. That is Kevin Dunn. Kevin Dunn is a horrible person,
Yeah.
and
Kevin Dunn, aka the guy that likes claustrophobic camera angles that make the experience so much
yep,
worse.
yep,
We're trying to see this guy do a simple kick, and all of a sudden the camera's doing a 360 no scope. Oh my
yep. So
god.
Kevin Dunn is a horrible, horrible person. Kevin
I
Dunn
see.
is the ultimate yes man. Him and John Laurinaitis are the ultimate yes man.
Yeah.
Ah,
So
Kevin Dunn also is also the same guy that told Becky Lynch that she has too much of a thick Irish accent to, speak and whatnot.
yep.
And it
I see.
and it man, how satisfying it must feel for Becky to know that Vince actually likes Becky despite the accent,
Yep.
and Kevin Dunn is forced to make Becky look good.
The theory is the reason that Triple H is not NXT boss anymore is because of Kevin Dunn getting Nick Khan to actually kick Triple H out. Because NXT, let's face it, NXT 1.0, Gold and Black was pretty much the best thing WWE had week by week. And
Yeah.
that 2.0 is very much a Kevin Dunn program with
This is not
the pain
this is
come.
not to this is not to discredit the wrestlers that are wrestling in
Yes,
NXT
yes,
2.0. They're actually pretty good.
they're
It's
great.
just that it's just that it doesn't have that same feeling or vibe like Black
Mhm.
and Gold did.
All right.
Hmm.
Two more points. Now, well, of course, we all agree Undertaker should be in the Hall of Fame. That's the most
Yeah.
obvious thing that I'll ever say in my life. Elimination Chamber.
Yes.
Yeah, pretty much nothing happened. Everything we expected to happen happened. Lesnar versus what's his
Everyone was hoping so much that Lesnar would win the title and then Lashley would retain it.
yeah,
Yeah, I
And
was hoping
I
that as
mean,
well.
here's the thing. If Lashley was gonna get
over.
was gonna leave due to injury, you had other people in that match that were deserving of it, bro.
Hmm.
Like Seth Rollins of all people, give him the title for like a bit, you know?
Imagine,
Why?
imagine Matt Riddle.
Oh, that would.
I would
I mean,
love that.
hey,
I would
hey,
love
I
that
mean,
just for a WWE to do something unexpected.
that would set up a pretty good feud between Riddle and Randy.
Yeah, no, although watching a Reigns Riddle program would be fun as well. And you know,
Rain.
and I love Face Lesnar. I think Face Lesnar is the
Yeah,
best
you
work
know, yeah,
he's
this
the best work he's ever done after 20
cow
years of being the ultimate heel. Face Lesnar is so
cowboy
much fun.
Cowboy Farmer Lesnar has been the most entertaining Lesnar we had since when he was actually enjoying wrestling back in 2002 when
Yep.
he was like having segments with Eddie and Kurt. Remember the lead up to No Way Out between Eddie and Brock?
Oh,
And
that was
there
horrible.
was literally one
I,
segment where he came out with the mariachi band and the sombrero.
the,
He was
Oh, I've seen that picture.
he was like the conductor for the mariachi band. That was just so funny.
no, and you know, Lesnar is somebody who actually wants to have fun. I mean, his skit with what's his name, our truth, that was hilarious.
Oh yeah.
Oh, and apparently it it was Heyman bet I had a bet with Vince that our truth could make Lesnar laugh, and Vince took that bet, and yeah, they actually made Lesnar laugh, and Lesnar actually said, "Hey, truth, let's do something." Of course, they haven't done anything because that's the way of the WWE. But imagine a program with Lesnar and Truth. That would just be so much fun.
Truth is a national treasure.
And also at the same time, it would also be a really feel good moment for
It,
Truth to
it
actually
will.
win the title.
Our Truth deserves it.
Yeah, dude, he's been with the
Mm.
company for so long. He's been through everything.
And he's
Even I'm pretty sure him and Vince are best buddies. There's like literally one picture of Vince and Truth laughing. You know that
Oh yeah,
picture?
I've seen that
Yeah.
picture.
imagine
Yeah.
imagine our Truth leaves our WWE Ron Killings, and Ron
Uh,
Killings with the Acclaim having a rap battle. Oh,
Ooh.
that would be so much fun. Uh,
I'm pretty sure the acclaimed has been having quite the controversy like
oh no,
quite a
that
bit.
but to be fair, that was not their fault. I mean, do you know the story, Alan?
I think I've sort of heard of it.
Okay, so yesterday's Rampage, which was recorded on Wednesday, they Max comes listen, and then they had their rap, and his first line had a rap about Vladimir Putin. The problem
Oh,
is
okay, no, I didn't know this one
the
then.
the war started during recordings, and they didn't know, so they had to cut
Oh
it. But and
no.
it's not Max Catter's fault. It's not AEW's fault. It's nobody's fault. They just
I'm
wanted to
pretty
Yeah,
cut
sure
no,
it.
I'm,
there's a I'm pretty sure there's like like somebody posted on Instagram posted that thing the segment on Instagram. Somebody replied to the comment,
Yeah.
can we not mention about Putin?
Yep.
And then I'm pretty sure the acclaimed like on his Instagram
Caster's.
account.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Cast.
he's like shut the fuck up.
Yeah, I'll
I'll
do
say
whatever
whatever
I
I
want.
want. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like that's not the point, bro.
But Max Caster, despite sometimes being a bit too edgy, his raps are
Like
great.
at least no, if you want to stay in character, at least be like I like when I said that shit, I didn't know the war was gonna start, man. But I'll say whatever I want. So yeah,
Now
like
that's he's a heel. That's pretty much what I would say. All right, but
yeah,
yes,
but you know, it's like the reply was in poor taste, kind of. It's like
the
eh.
for me the high spot the elimination chamber was Lita. I mean, I just saw
uh,
highlights. Wow, she can still go, man. I'm so happy for her. That's why I'm
yeah,
hoping with Austin that she doesn't Lita. But yeah,
What like she like Austin starts doing
no,
moonsaults.
I mean, obviously Lita has trained enough that she can have a quality match. Doesn't have to have 5 stars. Austin does not have to have a 6-star Dave Meltzer WON match, but he just has to be good, and I think he can do it. But yeah, for
right.
me, Lita is it. And anything you guys want to talk about from the elimination chamber before we move on to our last point?
Man, I didn't even watch Chamber, not gonna lie.
Oh,
uh,
I just watch
like,
highlights.
Ma-
yeah, same.
McIntyre completely stinging Madcap Moss.
Oh yeah, no, okay. The thing is
Oh,
right. That's not Drew's fault.
Yeah,
Cause
no, it
when you're
wasn't.
when you're a wrestler, your first instinct when you take a bump is to tuck in your chin.
Yeah, yeah.
And the thing is, that the what is it
The
the
reverse Alabama
inverted
Slam.
the reverse Alabama slam, Styles Clash, and all that stuff, those go against the instinct of you tucking in the chin where you actually have to kind of look up in
Had
order
to
to
look up
prevent
there, yeah.
Yeah.
your neck getting broken. But he took dude, Moss took that like a champ. My man just
Yeah.
Yep.
fucking took
Yep.
that head first,
Yep.
and then he's like, "Alright, I'm fine. Let's go." I hope he went to a hospital, at least
Oh
got
yeah,
his
I'm sure
neck
they
definitely.
and head
did. I'm sure
checked.
they did.
I
Uh,
hate I hate this whole like thing in WWE where like, you know, getting an injury and then walking it off as if nothing ever happened is like, oh, it's a macho thing to do, like, we're giving you a push now. Yeah, yeah, like give a push to someone who almost died.
yeah.
Like like that's the I feel like that's the reason why Balor hasn't had a chance to win back the main title because he was like, I'm hurt. I'm giving out the championship, and
Imagine,
then WWE is just convinced that we can't give him the title anymore. He's not macho enough.
imagine Thomas Devitt. I mean Prince Devitt against CM Punk in AEW or against Connie Omega trying to take back the Bullet Club.
Connie,
Kenny,
Connie.
sorry. Uh,
Corny
Cornet,
Omega.
Cornet
Nah,
Omega,
nah,
Jim Cornet and Kenny Omega make love and make a child. Cornet
no,
Omega. But,
no. Imagine this: Prince Devitt versus Brian Danielson.
oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Pretty
So,
good.
don't, Bella should leave. Ali should leave. Free Ali. Hashtag free Ali.
Yeah.
Second time.
I like I like
Yeah.
I like that I like that they let Cesaro leave, but then they don't let Ali leave because apparently WWE says Ali is a valuable asset, even though we're not using him for jack shit. Like
Yeah, exactly. Uh,
what?
There's the same case
You're
for
just
Brody Lee.
you're just like you're holding the guy hostage. Like if he asks for a release, you should grant that release. Unless you specifically state, no man, we got a program for you like next month or something. Instead of just holding him hostage and he's just stuck stuck in WWE doing nothing.
yeah. Anyway, so yeah, Elimination Chamber, that was pretty much it. Nothing much to talk about except for Madcap Moss.
I will
Uh,
say though, it is even though Saudi Arabia is kind of a shady country, the crowd there definitely feels very lively
because they're
compared to
not
the
marks
US
like
crowd.
us.
Yeah.
They for them it's new and fresh to be able to
Yeah.
watch Western bodies hit each other.
Yeah,
All right.
I don't.
especially dude, when you when what the Sultan of Saudi Arabia or something, when he believes that Yokozuna is still alive, you can tell he's not a mark.
Yeah. Uh, they are not tainted from like us. And the part of me, very part of me is not jealous of Saudi Arabia at all. I've been there, right? When I was a good little Muslim boy. Um, but, but, very, very, very small part of me goes, imagine watching wrestling without worrying about how your favorite wrestler is getting booked. How nice would that be?
The internet and like this whole like wrestling observer, all that stuff, like it definitely has ruined the view on
Yeah.
wrestling quite a
I
bit.
blame you,
I mean,
Square.
like it's fine. It's fine for people to think that wrestling is not real. I feel like I feel like that is fine because you know for a fact that for the most part it's like a live it's a live action movie basically. You see these guys, doing and all that stuff. They're doing these stunts and whatnot. But the fact that we actually know what's happening in backstage just ruins it, man.
Yeah.
It just ruins the suspense of disbelief because you wanna like you wanna like kind of like you want to turn off your brain, act stupid, and be like, "Ooh, this is fun," but then you know all this stuff, and it's like it's not fun anymore. Imagine you know what's happening for Avengers Endgame or like for Spider-Man No Way Home. Would you be as
I
excited
don't spoil. I haven't
or
seen No Way Home. I'm waiting
no? No, I'm not.
for.
I'm not. I'm
I'm
not.
not.
I'm not. I'm not.
I'm saying right now. I just have not seen it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But yeah, imagine you know what's happening, or you know like the insider info for for Spider-Man No Way Home or Avengers Endgame or any Marvel movie. And it's like publicly known info that's just spread everywhere and you can't even avoid it and you can't even enjoy the movie anymore because you know what happens. It's the same thing. It's like some people willingly just don't even try to look up stuff and you just turn off their internet so they can actually enjoy the product. That's why the casual fans still enjoy it. more than the internet wrestling community and the smarks, because the internet wrestling community knows what's gonna happen, but the casual fans don't know jack. So
I'm blaming Squared Circle, and funnily enough, I have gone viral 3 times this month on Squared Circle. All for all for
wait, really?
Danhausen. Yeah, I have. I posted like 3 stuff about Danhausen, especially one where he's talking about how he's asking Punk, do you want me to curse everybody in MJF's gang? He said, oh, Wardlow, Chair. He called him Chair, FTR, Ball and Hair, and Terry
Wait,
Bunchard.
who's chair again?
Chair is Sean Spears.
Sean
Oh
Spears.
yeah, that's right.
And then
Ty Dillinger.
and then Punk replies, okay, everybody except Bolt. Because he likes Breadman. And then Danhausen replies, yes, anybody who likes Breadman is safe. And Punk replies, okay, the check is in the mail, because he's paying Danhausen to use the GTS and curses and stuff. And I got viral for that, and a couple more Danhausen stuff. I got not viral, but I shared Hangman playing Wordle. I showed it to Alan. I don't know if you play Wordle then.
You need to share this to me. I
Yeah,
haven't
but
seen this.
so he plays Wordle. The first line he gets 4 correct and 1 wrong, and then he gets everything else wrong. And you go, oh my god, that's perfect kayfabe for Twitter, because Hangman is an idiot. So I love that. I don't like when people who understand Wordle, they would love that. Anyway, back
What
to
is Wordle though? I don't understand.
okay.
Is
So
it like
so Wordle.
what is it like?
So
It's a
Wordle.
word guessing game.
It was a word guessing
essentially.
game. You have 6 guesses to get 5 to get the word
It's a
right.
5-letter
5-letter
word,
word, and if you get green, you get that means the letter and the word at the right are at the right place. If you get yellow, you have the right letter but it's at the wrong place. And if you get gray, there's not the
Gray, yeah.
letter at all. So yeah, it's a great game because this guy made it for his girlfriend. He didn't want it to be famous at all. He just gave it to his girlfriend. Girlfriend gave it to her friends, and then it went viral. So yeah,
That's how
uh,
the internet works.
yeah. And now he
That's it.
sold it
And
for,
that
and then he sold it
like,
for $1.7 million. So love makes money, man. That's why porn exists. Now,
Why?
let, last point, and we'll call this. We'll end this wonderful discussion. This has been a lot of fun. The Ring of Honor Hall of Fame. Have you guys seen
Oh
that?
yeah, I
Yes,
read that.
I
What
saw the
the
lineup for
Briscoe
it.
brothers,
Oh,
Samoa Joe, Brian Danielson. Also,
CM Punk.
and
by the way,
CM Punk.
and yeah, and also related to Brian Danielson, it's
Mhm.
kind of funny that he won. Like, what is it, the Wrestling Observer Award or something like
Yeah,
that?
well,
He won.
the
He
Brian
won the
Danielson,
award.
the
He
Brian
won.
Danielson Award.
He won the award that was named after him.
And it's his
So
10th time.
original.
It's his 10th time winning the award, and he was only called the Branderson Award after his retirement because in honor of him they named it after him. But I still found it hilarious.
Like I feel like if you're
Pretty
still
funny.
gonna like crown him the award, at least I don't know, it's like honorable mention Brian Danielson. He's been great, but because because the reward is named after him, let's actually give it to somebody else. Like, I don't know. Actually, I can't think of any
Oh, did you see
wrestler.
FTR Ball? What's his name? What
Oh,
is
I can't believe
No, I've been calling him Ball and Hair the whole week since 9,000 did
he
that.
was like
No,
I'm
you know they
I'm pretty sure
no
he was in the Four Horsemen, right,
no,
with Ric Flair.
no,
That's not
not Tully, FTR
Tully.
Ball and FTR Hair, Dex and Cash.
Oh,
No, by the way,
Dex
Cash,
Harwood and
uh,
Cash Wheeler.
Cash has actually changed his Twitter profile to FTR Hair. Man,
Wait, really?
the way wrestlers have reacted to Danhausen shows that there's something about him. We probably don't see it yet, but wrestlers have. They all know there's something special about
If
Danhausen.
something, dude, if someone like Jim Cornette, who's like the most pessimistic wrestling fan ever, likes Danhausen, you know you got something going on.
Yep. Anyway, so after to reply to that, FTR Ball, I think, he posted a picture of FTR Hair's mom awarding best wrestler to FTR Ball. and it's just a piece of paper, and it's just hilarious because
That's funny.
yeah, but no, the Hall of Fame for Ring of Honor. Okay, I think we're so used to how WWE Hall of Fame is. You've got the celebrity, the Warrior Award, and then the not to say second rate or B pass players, but the less famous winners, and then the headliner, right? So we used to that way of Hall of Fame. When the Ring of Honor goes, fuck it, let's put everybody in. Samoa Joe. Okay, cool, great headliner. Brian Danielson. Wait, who's the headliner? The
Briscoe
Briscoes.
brothers.
Briscoes. Wait, who is the headliner?
CM
CM,
Punk.
what? What's going on? But then I realized probably they're not going to make it a yearly thing, maybe once every 5 years or something. But still,
Like,
that's cool.
Thing is right. Thing is right. Like the what makes a Hall of Fame special is that you acknowledge the people who actually impacted the wrestling business.
Not like fucking
And
Drew Carey.
not like Donald Trump. Like, well, I don't know why Donald Trump is in the Hall of Fame, by the way. Is he in the Hall of Fame
No, he's
actually?
not.
I
He's
need
not.
to
He's not
look
yet.
this up.
He's not.
He's not.
He's not.
Thankfully.
But Drew Carey is for a very, very dumb reason. He appeared in one Royal Rumble.
Oh yeah,
Yep, yeah.
with the spot with
With
Kane.
Kane, yeah, and now he's in the Hall of Fame. I mean, I understand Snoop Dogg has appeared a lot, and he said he did an awesome rap for Sasha Banks when she came on. Oh, I love the entrance, by the way. I thought that was one of the coolest entrance next to Undertaker's entrances and Living Color for CM Punk.
I think I actually enjoy Sasha Banks' current theme. It's actually like a
One of the
really
few
catchy
good
theme.
current teams because
Yeah.
they
Yeah,
spoil they spoil everything.
because every other wrestling team just feels like it feels like a WWE product,
Mm.
which is not good in my context. And then you got Snoop Dogg, you know, making things feel fresh with Sasha's team.
Yep.
And I feel like right now the only WWE themes I enjoy right now is Sasha Banks' theme, Seth Rollins' theme. Roman Reigns' theme is also like really good.
Because
Uh,
I think they were made by CFO still.
yeah,
Yeah.
and um like I not happy Corbin's theme, but Corbin's theme when he was Baron Corbin when Jim Johnston made that was Jim Johnston's last WWE theme too.
Talking about somebody who should be in a Hall of Fame,
Yeah.
Jim
Okay.
Johnston is not in the Hall of Fame, and he was not even acknowledged when he left WWE. When they released him, did not even acknowledge him properly. He made the music of a generation. The Attitude Era
Yeah.
sound is him.
You wanna give Hall of Fame like spots, give it to people like Jim Johnston, give it to give it to the people that
The
actually,
the bring back the bell ringer. What's his name? I forgot. He was there for 30 years. He was there since Vince McMahon Senior, and he got nothing. Right?
yeah,
This
I feel like the Hall of Fame should be for the people who were in the business for a long time and actually made an impact in the wrestling business. It's like an acknowledgement of their hard work after, doing the work for the company for so long.
okay. In 7 years, when AEW has a Hall of Fame, who the hell do they put on first?
I mean,
Cody, Brandy,
MJF.
Cody's tattoo. No.
Cody's tattoo needs its own Hall of Fame.
You know how Cody's character is the one that never wins will never compete for the title.
Oh, you know
Cody,
what?
maybe the Hall of Fame Cody's art will be his tattoo winning it rather than him.
Hey, you know what? When you mention the AEW Hall of Fame,
Yeah.
the first person that should be inducted into the AEW Hall of Fame is Brody Lee. He deserves it, man.
I agree.
He wasn't there for a very long time,
But he made impact.
but he had a pretty entertaining run with
And you
with
know
our
who should
boy.
induct him, right?
His family.
His son.
Yeah,
Definitely his
exactly.
son. Yeah. And
I
the
will-
the
I
fact
will-
the fact that okay, Jim Cornette said a great thing about this. He praised AW about this for them giving Brody Lee Jr. a contract because even if he doesn't become a wrestler, at least the family's getting money.
Yeah, that's the thing.
That's a good thing. That's a great thing. So, but yeah,
Minus my wait, his name is minus
negative
one,
one,
right?
negative one.
Negative
Yeah,
one.
Yeah.
negative one wins the AEW title for Hangman Page. I'm calling it.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
he
When MJF,
retires. He retires Page.
no. Like when MJF wins the title, negative one should win it. That would be better.
No,
Hmm.
I think negative one. If he continues, probably have a story where he would retire one of the greats. He would retire MJF or Page if
Yeah.
they continue being great, which I think they will, or Omega or somebody who's that who will have a lot of impact. Anyway, mm, no, let us all agree that no, they all deserve to be in the Hall of Fame, a Hall of Fame for Ring of Honor.
Yeah, exactly.
Just didn't expect them to be here this soon. And who the hell do they put next? Danielson?
I mean, they could put Kenta Kobashi in the Ring
Yeah,
of Honor Hall of
true,
Fame.
true.
Actually,
Chris
what's oh my
Daniels.
god, like Christopher Daniels, Chris Hero, um, what's it? Oh my god, I forgot his name. The guy who has the Emerald Flosion as his finisher.
I can't remember.
He
Oh,
What?
died. He died in the ring because he took like a simple back bump and his neck
Emerald.
gave.
Mit,
Oh,
was it Mitsuharu Misawa?
Yeah,
yeah.
Misawa. Yeah. Give Misawa the
And then
spot.
Nigel McGuinness.
Nigel
Yeah,
McGuinness.
a lot of great ones.
Drake Maverick.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, that could work. Brian Kendrick. No, was
Um,
Brian Kendrick in the Ring of Honor? No.
Brian Kendrick.
That, you see, this is what's at work all along. I brought it back to it. You have all been worked. WWE should
Uh,
hire me as a booker. Oh, but they probably hire me as a writer, as though they don't
no,
have
no.
enough.
Here's the thing. No, here's the thing though. WWE is allergic to long-term booking. They're more interested in the short-term
Well,
booking.
yeah,
So
long term booking being 2 hours, they're allergic to that, definitely. Yeah. All right, gentlemen,
Uh,
I think that I will call it. Any other points you want to talk about in February?
any other points in
Because
February?
February was a big month for wrestling, I reckon. Good or
Yeah.
bad is a different story.
I mean,
uh,
what else is there to talk about for wrestling in February? To be honest,
uh,
there's been
yeah,
quite a lot that happened.
we're not even fully delving into Vince having a match. We'll probably save that for April during after
when it's
WrestleMania.
after WrestleMania.
Where we go.
Yeah.
What? Okay, we'll probably be wearing all black, and going and having a 1 minute
Oh
silence.
yeah. Did anyone did anyone see
Wear our tingle salute.
did anyone see the Impact match that the like God versus the Good Brothers and then
I saw
Jay
the
White
highlights.
yeah
I and
yeah
then
Jay
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
I saw the
Appar-
highlights.
heard about it.
apparently I don't know like the thing is that people are saying that God is no longer a part of Bullet Club and is the Good Brothers instead or something like that which is
I don't even know what's happening with the Bullet Club.
which
It's
is
just so much.
which is funny
Mhm.
considering that if Kenny Omega was not taking a break from wrestling right now due to injury, I'm pretty sure Kenny Omega would be questioning the Bucks as to why the Bucks
Yeah,
and the
yeah.
Good Brothers are siding themselves with with
Right?
with Jay White. Yeah, exactly.
But
Mm.
plus that adds to the AEW story because they are not happy with White in AEW.
Really?
Yeah,
Who?
the
Uh,
Bucks. No, no, not. This is kayfabe. This is kayfabe. Like they're not very happy because Adam Cole brought Will White in without consulting the Bucks. So they're trying
okay.
to. Their current story is they're not happy that Cole is making. We get the Elite, the Adam Cole show. This is when Omega comes in. I'm expecting him coming in the next 2 weeks, right? Possibly either at Revolution or post Revolution. And yeah, just having the time of their lives. That's gonna be fun. Elite versus the Undisputed.
Hmm.
And
Not recall the undisputed though.
huh?
By the
Are
way,
they
the
that
fact
Yep.
By the way, the fact that Jay White has went from this this like nobody in New Japan to like one of the talking points in wrestling now. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know much about. I didn't know much about Jay White until he appeared. Because I tried to follow the Bullet Club, but it's gone through so much of it that I go. They
And
even
also,
they haven't had a program with Simon Miller at one point
yeah,
when What Culture Pro Wrestling was a thing. Simon Miller, Alan, if you don't know, he's
yeah.
from What Culture, the bald guy who looks like
He,
yeah, oh,
Is it the ball guy
aka
that's Jack? Is it?
the up and down guy.
I a down
The up.
guy.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, I think I remember.
By the
him.
way, I also got a lot of likes for a comment where somebody was talking about Simon Whistler, the guy on YouTube who talks about facts, and Simon Miller looking alike. So I go, then they look alike. They look alike with Johnny Sins. So there should be a video of Simon Whistler and Simon Wheeler talking about wrestling, and then Johnny
With-
Sins doing a porn parody where he starts making rough but sweet love with a woman named Simona. That would be great.
no,
I got like 100
no,
likes on that.
no,
Yeah. Anyway,
no. Like
No.
it's actually cool. It's actually cool seeing an Australian wrestler being one of the most talked
he's
guys in wrestling.
he's
Because I
Kiwi.
don't think, yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter. Australian Kiwi, it doesn't matter. It's like have we ever had an Australian slash Kiwi wrestler talked about this much?
Iconics.
Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
true.
other than the
The
iconic,
Bushwhackers.
the,
Were they Australian?
They were Australian, literally Bushwhackers.
oh,
Bushwhackers
I didn't.
is a,
Oh,
it's
I
a
didn't know. I didn't know that.
Sorry, I didn't know. I didn't know.
But
Yeah,
no,
I didn't know
but it's
that.
true. It's because I live in Perth. I lived there for 5 years. I went to one or two Perth shows, and
Yeah.
it was great. Australian wrestling is pretty good, dude.
Yeah.
Guys, we need to go to Malaysian wrestling one day when the pandemic's over. And my
Uh,
PW, when you come
like the thing is,
when you come down from your state, Danny, one day. Yeah.
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 I mean, I'm the only one that doesn't live in the same state with you guys.
Mm.
But yeah, I don't know. It's like I don't know. Bushwhackers are a comedy gimmick. Iconics, I mean, they're kind of a comedy gimmick, right? Like they're not to be taken too seriously. And then
Yeah.
you got Jay White. Jay White's gimmick is just on a whole nother level.
Well,
He's
we'll see.
like he's just an asshole.
Well,
He
we'll,
doesn't care.
we'll see how he goes in AEW, but I know we can expect great things. The AEW roster is stacked. Anyway,
Yeah.
I think that is it for today, ladies and gentlemen. Gentlemen, thank you for taking your time this Sunday afternoon to talk about wrestling. We'll see how things have changed in 1 month, where post Revolution, pre WrestleMania. Hopefully, it's a good WrestleMania.
Calling it. I'm calling it right now. Cody Rhodes. He's gotta go to WWE and win all the titles. Not under Cody Rhodes, but under the name Stardust.
Oh, that's how
Oh,
he covers the
no.
tattoo.
Oh no! I absolutely laughed when I saw the Stardust gimmick debut.
But hey, one my great memories is when no, it was not. It was Cody and Goldust winning the tag titles from the Shield, and then they
Yeah,
just
that-
hug in the middle of the.
Yeah, that was-
Because it was just after Dusty's death. So was it? No. It wasn't.
Dusty was still alive.
Oh no,
at the
they
time.
it was after
Oh yeah.
they had
Are you,
the
talking?
the Shield.
If you
No, I'm talking about the Shield attacking Dusty
yeah,
recently.
yeah.
So yeah, I thought that was really sweet. That was a
think-
great.
I think the hug that they had after that match at AEW was a lot more as it was a better moment than
Yeah,
that.
true.
Well, yeah.
But
It's like I don't need a partner, I need a brother. That was like I feel like that was a really good Cody Rhodes moment.
all right. So, gentlemen, thank you very much. And everybody, please follow Alan and Danny on Twitch. They are severely underfollowed. So am I. And hit the subscribe. Write in the comments what you think was the high point or low point elimination chamber from February, and what you're expecting in March.
Nah, the high point was definitely Brian Kendrick.
No?
Well, he's
Oh.
been a high point for ages now. And thank you very much. Goodbye, Alan. Goodbye, Danny. And all of you have been Bam and bless.